live. And I have been clamoring all the time, going to your page to say, Dr. Marambire, please, can I have your audience? So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Marambire, who is one of the distinguished experts, distinguished entrepreneur, who turned up from being a head boy and to be a millionaire. And I'm happy to say that his story, it inspires many. And he's an expert anyway in business issues. We have seen him doing a lot of projects online and also sharing some insights that can actually benefit us as Zimbabweans. And myself, I am not taking this on a political note to say nyika inovakwa nevayo, but my belief is we are the people who are supposed to build Zimbabwe. We are supposed to be the Bill Gates of tomorrow. We are supposed to be the Elon Musks of tomorrow. But we can only do that if we have our share in whatever is happening in Zimbabwe. So it's good that we have people like Dr. Marambire who are not shy to share whatever that they are doing with the society for the purposes of making sure that we build synergies. No connections, no business. That's what I have discovered myself. And Dr. Marambire, the main purpose of our group, we have got so many people like in those WhatsApp groups that we run. But the purpose or the main purpose that pushed me to do that is because as people who are in the diaspora, oftentimes we are shortchanged. Like when you want to do something, maybe you want to build a house, you send people money at home, they do whatever that they want with the money, and at times we blame them, but we are blaming the wrong people because these people, they don't have the expertise, but we are giving them $5,000 $10,000 for them to use that particular money for the purposes maybe of construction or running a business. So we allow people to ask you questions, but you as an expert and who has been in the diaspora as well for so many years and also decided to move Zimbabwe, would want to know what really inspired you to get into business, full-time entrepreneurship. We will be very happy to understand that, so that one day we can also be sharing our time to say, I've chosen to say, no, I'm stopping nursing now. I'm going full-time as an entrepreneur. And also would want to know the challenges that may be faced and also how to deal with those challenges, especially bridging the gap between the diaspora and the family, how to run the businesses, how to make sure that our synergies work very well. I understand you are into construction and you have got a construction company that is running. I've been talking to your guys and they've shared some things that we can actually chime in and say, yes, we want to have our house built, but we don't have the cash now. But we want to pay maybe in terms and making sure maybe if we are paying in terms, we are paying so much and you are doing a fix and supply job. So I will be very happy if you go into those areas and also give us how best we can push business in Zimbabwe. We really love to be doing business in Zimbabwe, and we have already started some businesses, but some of them you wouldn't know that we are actually picking them from you. And we are not going to
Oh,
forget the
thank
Nyati family in your discussion. I will be very happy for people to understand the big job that you are doing. So over to you, Dr. Marambire. And we would also want to hear some opportunities that are there in Zimbabwe, the opportunities that you may see that may require collaboration, and also the resources that may be required for us to be able to chime that. So you can take the direction that you want in this presentation that you are going to make, and you chime in with our questions as we go on. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Marambire.
Thank you, Mr. Tanashi, for such a wonderful introduction. And thank you all who have managed to join the group, this meeting. And kungotanga nekuti madiaspora muri kutisimbisa rambai muchishanda muri kwamuri ikoko. And also I was once outside Zimbabwe. I think I left Zimbabwe when I was just a teenage stage, soon after completing my secondary education. So life in diaspora ndoto is vakuti yakaita sei, it's very hard. Unfortunately, on my return, it was not voluntary, but in the mapepa ndo dzakanetsa and I had to come back to Zimbabwe. And I was Zimbabwe in 2011. It was soon after the economic meltdown ya 2008 to 2009 yeah. So I think I would say when things were very tough. Yeah, Mr. Tinashe told me about this meeting at a very short notice. I'm sorry we've been trying to reach out and tikataza kubatana due to my busy schedule. And now I'm trying to generalize our conversation. Some of the opportunities that are available in Zimbabwe, and also maybe how those who are already in the diaspora, something in Zimbabwe, how best you can start your businesses. And what was my experience when I returned to Zim to start something, and how the environment is basically like. So let me go back, way back in 2011 when I returned to Zim. It was not voluntary, as I said. My paper, and then I had to return to Zim. Fortunate enough, I took all my savings and some of the assets that I managed to return with. Svisina kuzobhadhara duty zvakauya as my returning resident. But now the challenge when I arrived in Zimbabwe, being a person agari more focused in construction, ndakatadza kuwana a gap of construction as soon as I returned. I tried so many things because to survive with the family and all that. So ndakambinda kutenga mombe uchiurayisa kumaabattoir zvazvo, and it was a flop because ndasingazoti kutsvaka mombe yakasimba unoitsvaka sei. So sometimes ndaitsvaka a kettle yokuti unenge waitenga ne$400 woenda kuabattoir yoyo kubudisira makiji mashoma ita commercial, then you get maybe 250. So I was losing money. Then a friend of mine achibva andadvise akati atinde kumining. So I went into mining. That was the worst thing ever to do in my life, because I went there and I lost almost everything. So ndakatozotanga kudzokera kuconstruction nehardware business when I had almost nothing. So in short, I felt like I need to share this story for those who are preparing to come home or to do business back home. It's very important maybe to stick to the things that you know very well. Indakarashika pandakada kuzoita zvekutengesa nyama zvemombe, and when I tried mining, that was the worst. So I lost a lot of money, and it's difficult to recover, especially ukazobuya muZimbabwe manje usisina mari, zvinokwanisa kunetsa kusimuka. I thank God that I returned back to construction where I know, and things started moving way back as around 2012, around April, things started to shape up. Then I developed and I grew. There are so many opportunities in Zimbabwe. I don't want to lie.
Sorry,
There's
I
money in
wanted
Zimbabwe.
to interject. Sorry, is that all right if I interject? You said we could ask questions as you speak.
Okay, thank you.
Your story was very interesting, and the reason why I'm interjecting is because I'm sort of doing the same thing. I'm transitioning from one career. I'm literally nosediving into something. And I thought it was very interesting that you said you initially didn't find a gap in Zimbabwe, so you tried other things, but then you found your niche back in what you know. So what would you recommend, Pagapi Pap, or do you dig deeper? Like, what are the survival skills in that gap area? Because I think that's where we panic. That's when we make, irrational decisions financially, everything. Because in that gap, there's so much uncertainty. So what is your recommendation now that you have hindsight and wisdom? When you're in that gap, what is somebody expected to do or not do?
Okay, like in my case, as you said, I really panicked because when I returned to Zimbabwe, I was not ready to come back. It was issue of papers. So if you are to get in something new, I would advise that do your proper research before you start using your money, before you start investing. Do a proper research until you are sure. I learned the hard way when I started the buying and selling meat. It was a very big mistake because I didn't know how to measure or how to assess a cow before I buy. And then I ended up buying mombe dzakawanda. I ended up buying mombe dzinoita commercial rate yekutengesa yacho, it was low. So and then pandakazoenda into mining, I meet very honest people. Vakaita kuti ndishandise mari during my meet, and I was paying a lot of money. For your own information, maybe to make this very well understandable, I returned to Zimbabwe with a figure that I would say plus or minus 250,000 US dollar. And out of all this figure, I come down to nothing. When I returned back to do construction and brick molding, I was almost close to zero. So I shared the figure so that you can see how it could turn out. You can lose almost everything. Saga, to answer to your question, I would say, if you want to start something new, which you have never done before you put your money, please do a proper research and get to understand the industry before you put your money. I don't know if you are answered.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so now let me proceed and try to touch all the angles that I think would be helpful today. So now after I return to the business that I know, I have knowledge about. Of course, rakatanga kura very fast because Zimbabwe has opportunities. What I noted in Zimbabwe is we don't have foreign companies. It's all indigenous. No, not all, but 90% indigenous. So competing with your own fellow brothers, it's easy because you will be somewhere in the same rate in terms of growth. It's difficult to get my economies like in South Africa, but not multinational companies run at a very high scale, because those companies which run business at a high scale, one a privilege yekupiwa zvinhu nemasstockist, one a privilege yekutenga in bulk or import, and then competing them price wise, it will be very difficult. But then this is how I penetrate the market. I looked in the market and see what was lacking from the people who went to hardware material supply, and I noted that transport. So when I returned to Zimbabwe, I got my small truck that I brought in. So in hardware, I quickly gained a bigger market because it's also tight supply. People, they were buying and were supply, offering transport. So that gave us a leverage, and more we become more popular, and we managed to find our gap. So I would want to say to those who want to come to Zimbabwe, don't be afraid with this industry. I think what is important, look into that industry and see what people are not offering, or what can you do different from what they are doing. Maybe that will be the gap, because it's difficult to run a business. It's always that every business, a lot of people are doing the same business. So you need to be smart and bring a unique style to the business. Either like my sister was saying that she's into goat farming. You might find out there's a lot of people who are doing goat farming, but with your uniqueness, find a gap where you can be different from others and try to grab the market. So fast forward, we then developed a brick molding plant. The issue of introducing brick molding plant was trying to build up something like a one-stop shop where we can have bricks, we can have building material supply, and then we have construction, which means now we have an upper hand when it comes to market. If someone comes to us, we can take material from our building material, we can take bricks from our brick molding plant, and then we build a house. Then we went on to offer some facilities, credit facility, payment, flexible payment conditions and all that. So we then grow so rapidly. Takakura really fast, because from 2012 to 2016, we were well recognized, like the whole country. We're doing projects almost in each and every province of the country. So I think those are the things that I would advise for people to look into especially when you are returning. Then I might move on to talk about handling your projects while you are outside the country. I don't know if there are questions on what I've presented so far before I move on.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's so Dr. Marambire, from what you have presented, I'm sure it's all going to the fact Yaguti one is to make sure they do thorough research of whatever that they want to embark on. And some of it can be outsourced. Like yourself now. You now know the path. Would you give yourself up to say you can try and manage some of the people, like they say I've got 50,000, I want to put it into this business. Will you be able maybe to assist me in managing this resource or the fund that that person will be holding? I'm sure it could work better as well. I don't know what's your take.
You know, Mr. Tanashi, my schedule is quite so busy because as much as we feel like our company has grown up, I'm still 100% involved in the day-to-day running of the business and some of the initiatives that we are doing. So if there would be anyone with such amount of capital, I would advise that if it is mentorship, maybe yes. Mentorship is easy, especially to someone who is knowledgeable. Agara not to as a business. In an issue of assisting networking, assisting if you do need maybe licenses, paperwork, and maybe references, depending on what the person will be doing. But to say I would be in a position to receive funds on behalf of people to run a business, that would be a little bit risky. You know, I'm this guy who I value integrity, honesty, and doing things the right way. Because what I noted, most of the guys, when they become popular, they become easy to receive people's money, misuse the money, and that will be the downfall. So it's something that I've learned from a distance. When I see people become famous and popular, they then find it easy to receive people's money, actually without having a proper plan how they are going to use it. So I would not want to fall into that bracket. But if it is to mentor, I'm someone who believe in honesty. And for me, integrity cannot be bought. So for you to have such kind of qualities, you do need to deal with people with honesty. So what I can promise, or what I know we can do, is for those who want to build houses. Like if you want to have a project in Zimbabwe, we can do that on your behalf. But the good part of it, when we are building for those who are in the diaspora, we make sure that we don't receive the full payment. For example, if you want to do a project costing 50,000, we would rather have you deposit the money gradually, slowly, according to the progress of the project. Because there's always a risk of receiving more money than equivalent to the work that you have done. So I think that's what I can say in response to your submission, Mr. Tanashi.
That's great, and I hope you are going to come back to that one. People, I'm sure they'll be interested in listening to that and also getting to understand how it actually runs, because that's one thing that people may be interested in, to see, like, if they are doing construction, are you able to do their houses, and at what cost, and what is it that they require for them to be able to do that. I'm sure you'll be able to come back to that anyway. So thanks. You can proceed with your presentation, Dr. Marambire, unless there's anyone who has got a question on what he has presented so far.
Except for cops, you know. Yeah. Well, I'm a cop. Oh, you're a cop. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay, if there's any question, I will proceed. So I think now comes back to the issue of opportunities in Zimbabwe, as I was saying. Um, I'll be very privileged to share with the group in this meeting that one of the key factors that has made me to want to work with people, to want to assist people, is mainly my background, because I've got this very sad story, how I grew up and how I ended up into business, and then how I ended up assisting people. I think, as you were mentioning, Mr. Tinashe, that I've ended up managing the Nyati family, which came after I built them a house and I organized their wedding recently. And then I think the family then felt, could you at least nurse our children, manage them as they are working on social media. So I do this a lot. As way back as 2011, I think if you can go even on Google and search my name, you'd see a lot of initiatives that we've done. The most drive, or the most purpose of me doing that is the understanding of having nothing. I always say to people, I give not because I have, but I know the meaning of having nothing. And also, I understand that, of course, as an individual, I cannot change the world, but I understand that I can change the world for one person. So that's what drives me, even to the extent of wanting to assist others in any way that I can. So I don't know, Mr. Tinashe, if I'm still online in terms of the main purpose of this conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely online, definitely.
Okay, is there any questions in what we are discussing?
Yeah, I'm just checking the chat box now. Let me see if there's anyone who has got a question. So far, not any in the chat box. Any hands? So far, there are no hands. So I'm sure you could proceed, Dr. Marambire.
Okay, so I think if you may allow me, I'll talk more about the projects that we are doing in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
We are running for construction projects, as I was saying earlier, that we have got the hardware shop. We are running, we are building houses, shops, schools, and even commercial buildings for people locally. Not only that we are building for people outside Zimbabwe. I would say it's 50-50. We've got people based in Zimbabwe who are doing very tremendous and very big things. I remember we were building a house for a certain guy who is based in Zimbabwe at a value of above 100,000, and the person was paying and having no problem. We were a number of other guys who are building even small projects and schools that we are building for, in terms of blocks, or even individuals who want to start private schools. We are building and offering some credit facilities. If it is a school, it can pay in 3 terms. That is within a year, 3 school terms. And also for individuals, we have got various services that we offer, which is there's one which you call pay as you go. Pay as you go, it's a building facility which allows us to build your house and to pay as we progress. But this is how it works. A person needs to have a stand or in the approved plan. But in the event that there's no a stand or an approved plan, we can draw a plan for you. We submit to the council for approval. Then after the plan is approved, we do a bill of quantity first. Then we submit a bill of quantity to the client so that we agree on the prices. There's a lot of discussions that will happen after the bill of quantity is presented, either the money being too high or average or too low. So most of the time, clients would want to understand, say, okay, you're charging me about 50,000. How did we reach there? We go into the material that will be quoted and everything. So now, after we agree, we design a contract with terms and conditions that are tailor-made, because people, they come with different situations. Once the contract is signed, then we start do the project where we offer fix and supply, which means after signing the contract, the client will do nothing except to come and inspect progress of the work. We provide all the building materials, we provide labor, Now the advantage is if there is no water in the area, we provide the water for free. Production, construction is for free. And then accommodation, we build up cabins at our own cost. But of course, after the project is done, we carry out the cabins, those temporary shelters. And then we feed our builders. We came with all scaffold, wheelbarrows, everything. So I think this type of construction or the fix and supply has been accepted across boards with so many people who are enjoying and love us to do fix and supply. So then we have easy build. Easy build is when we do the construction at a credit facility, and then we give up to, at first it was 36 months, but we reduced it to 12 months now, 12 months or 18 months, depending on the size of the project. So this one, again, is the same process. We need an approved plan. Then we would require a bill of quantity and a quotation that we produce and give the client. Then after we agree, we go on the ground and start building fix and supply, while the client is paying. The client will be required to pay a deposit. Then the balance can be spread over a period of 12 months up to 18 months. So I would say those are the facilities that we have under the construction. And I'll be very happy if there are questions or suggestions regarding these topics, or we move on to discuss something different.
There's a question that popped up in the chat box, which is related to that. Patricia is asking to say, I want to hear more about the 3-bedroom house project for 15.8. Munotora time yakadi kupedza. Do you have credit terms? Do you build per stand on council session? Then there's another one from that's Prosper. Are you sure you can run smoothly without political interference? And how much is the Zimra tax? Let's say you are looking at opening a company. And then, yeah, I'm sure we can do those two. Then we take the other questions.
Okay, the 3-bedroom course that we are promoting, especially starting this January, this is going to be a very interesting venture. I'm so excited about it. The 3-bedroom for 15,800, it can be built within 30 days. I think we've showcased our capability when we were doing the house for the Nyati family. It was built under Spotlight. We're showing progress. We took 28 days and it was done. So this particularly, because it's in town, we are targeted to finish within 30 days, even though we may get some delays, because in town now we'll be waiting for inspections at every stage. But if the inspection is not delaying, 30 days, the house will be done. And then we are offering a half deposit. Then the balance can be paid over 10 months. So which means if the house is, sorry, forgive me. If the quotation is 15,800, you pay half of that amount, and then the balance will be spread over 8 to 10 months, I think. So which means within 30 days, the house will be completed. And then now you remain paying your installments over that period. But this course can be expanded to a full house, because space in Ingasara inokwanisa kuiswa a dining kitchen and a veranda to make it a complete house, which would then increase the amount to about 26,000. So yeah, it's a very interesting initiative. And if people can go at our website, you can actually apply for this facility on our website. All the districts in Zimbabwe is there, and we are working with the local authority, with the district councils, which are a bit cheaper on stands. So the idea is we are going to get land, we develop. So far, we've got land in Berengwa. We are negotiating with the Chegu too, and Lower Gweru and Chivi. We are targeting to get at least a minimum of 5 hectares where we are going to develop these stands. So the project of RBCH is going to be very interesting. We are going to showcase, I think we are starting another project in Gweru under the same, for this co-house building facility. So yeah, we should be showcasing. Now comes back to another question, Yekuti, would you run a business without political interference? It's very possible. I've been in Zimbabwe since 2011, and we are not affiliated to any party. We've never been asked to do anything or to participate in any political events because we know what we are doing. We focused only on business. A lot of guys who you find them into politics, I would say they are not really entrepreneurs. Because in the way vanotsvaga matenda through musangano. And kana ukatsvakawo politics, une mari yako, they will accept you, unopedzisira waita zvepolitics. But isusu we have chosen to say, no, we are going to run business. Of course, I had an opportunity to meet His Excellency. By then, in 2016, in June, we were called to meet the president. By then, it was RG. We went to the State House. And then now in the new dispensation, I think twice or three times, we invited to meet the president, but not on political basis. We were going there as business people, as entrepreneurs in different various forums. And I want to believe that if one wants to run a business away from politics in Zimbabwe, it's very, very possible. Then comes back to the Zimra issue. It's another topic that I feel is being exaggerated. Because what I understand, if you are running your business and keep all the records, keep all the transactions, the tax will reconcile itself, whether you are paying or you are getting a refund. And I would be very happy to share that on various occasions, the Zimra have refunded us when we were supposed to receive refund. And then when we are supposed to pay, we are paying. So a lot of things you might understand them when you are on the ground. But in terms of taxation, I think it's almost similar to every African countries where we pay tax. We will pay VAT 15%, and then the tax is calculated on your net profit after calculating profit and loss account. So it's something which is being very exaggerated. And once you get into it and you register the Zimra, nowadays they've got a very interesting portal which is called the Terms, which everything you do on their portal, you don't need to visit their office. So the environment is very good, guys. And I would want to challenge you that anyone who is interested, I think this is the right time to come.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Banabas. I think that was profound. Maybe before I go back to the chat box, I'm seeing their hands up. I'm seeing Mkomatapiwa. Mkomatapiwa is one of the entrepreneurs as well. We've been running this platform together. He's also doing a lot of businesses in Zimbabwe. And he interacts very well with Zita and all other things. And I'm sure he's going to add value to the discussion. So Mkomatapiwa, you can bring in either it's a question or what. You can come up, then Esther, you come in, then we go to the chat box. There are questions there as well. Thank you. Yeah, Mkomatapiwa, if you are speaking, you are muted. Yeah, you are still muted. Yeah, now you're okay.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you for your time, guys, and thank you for everybody who's attending the meeting. Very insightful presentation from the good doctor here. I'm actually going to go direct with the questions. In terms of the credit facility that you guys are talking about, do you have anything specific designed for the diaspora that allows debit or direct debits from their bank accounts, which makes it more flexible for people in the diaspora? And then with the what you call it, the $15,800 house that you're talking about, have you also looked into people coming together as groups to also make it easier for people to get onto that ownership construction platform? Because what we've noticed is a lot of people can group together and do certain projects in a certain way, but they can't afford the heavy deposits. But I think the pricing that you guys are coming with is very interesting. And have you also guys talked to the suppliers? What type of deals do you have with suppliers when you're able to then just show the financing of these things? Because a lot of people will be worried that once they pay a deposit and your relationship with the suppliers are not in place, then you guys might not reach your targets. What capacity? How liquid or how big is the business right now?
Okay. Thank you very much for such a very good question. In terms of payments for the people in the diaspora, so far we are relying on Western Union, World Remit. I think there are facilities that are there which are used. We tried to lobby in 2 banks which have got diaspora mortgages, but it's taking long to sign up this agreement with them. So we decided to go ahead so far, Takazvimirira as an organization. So, so for people who are groups are going to benefit a lot from this facility, because what we did, we've put a application form on our website, which we are going to encourage people to register using that form. The advantage of the website now, it will group people automatically according to their districts, especially those vanenge vasina states. Saka, when you apply it to, for example, it will indicate that you applying from Guruve. Now, if you've got 10 people applying from Guruve, Toshana now is a group. And also, if there are a certain group which is working from one company, we also accept that. And as you said, now, if it is a group, we are no longer requesting for half deposit. We can work with a minimum amount which is affordable, because it's now a group. For example, if we get 20 people wants to build together, even if we say we receive 5,000, it becomes a reasonable figure. Unfortunately, kana get a group revanhu manje vachivaka in different provinces, still it will be difficult to handle. That's why we developed the website application, which would then group people according to their districts of preference, to their provinces of preference. It becomes easy when we are building more than 20 houses in one place than building 20 houses in different places. For example, when the Arkwamtare, you see mobilization of material can become cost, especially considering the house is small. Then the other question, when you ask about suppliers, we have established hardware shops. So we have accounts with all the wholesaler suppliers, not all, but the majority wholesaler suppliers. If we go to cement, we've got accounts with PPC and Lafarge. If we go to other building material, we've got the accounts with the big companies like Pump and Steel, Rada, and other well-established companies. And if you go to timber, we've got accounts with the Watro company, Allied Timbers, and Mutare Board and Timber. So these are well-established companies that help us to ensure that we are supplying quality materials. So in terms of capacity, we've been running these projects since 2013. And I think if you can follow our project so far, it has been a success, because we utilize our resources to build up the projects without diverting money from business to personal use. I think most of the things, if you want to deal with someone, especially I am a company which I regard it as a small company, check the lifestyle of the directors. I'm the director and my wife, and of course we've got other shareholders, but our lifestyle should guarantee you that director vazotori mari vakanojeka kuDubai, or director vazotori mari vakanotenga Lamborghini. We are so humble and we want to grow this company. So in terms of repetition, I was talking earlier about integrity and good repetition. It's something that we take so seriously. I know it's difficult to manage people, but if you see now from 2013 to this day, we are doing construction and working with people, and we don't have scandals across of people complaining about us misusing their funds. I think it's another good reason for people to give us a a benefit to say, I know maybe these guys still they know what they are doing. So I think that's what I can say so far in regard with our capacity. We are well capacitated to run all the projects that we are going to sign up. Because if we are currently managing to do projects in various places, which we are mainly funding almost 50% of the projects from our resources. We've got two projects in Mutare, we've got other projects in Rosape, in Mutoko, we've got other projects in Harare, we've got other projects in Berengwa, Blawayo, and Gweru. And all these projects are running simultaneously without any problem. So I believe that if people entrust us with their projects, they are going to be happy and enjoy our good workmanship.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
You have another follow-up. You can come up.
Yeah. Very interesting, and I love what you guys are doing. I would like the name of the website, and I also want to find out: are you also going to be partnering other people who are eager to come in and participate from different angles within this setup that you be new suppliers, be new bankers who are maybe foreign based, or other investors who are eager to get on board to make the projects grow bigger?
Yes, we are so open. And would like partnership, especially if there are individuals with land to say, no, I've got too much land in Goromonzi, or I've got too much land in Rusape. We have just purchased the yellow machines for land development. So whenever we're going to get land, we're going to put roads, put water and sewer to reduce the cost and otherwise present a very good communities. Tiwane communities ane maroads zvataiziva kudhara kuti mutaundi munofanira kunge mune tara. Kwete mazuva ano kuti vanhu vanongogredha road yotonzi yatova town vanhu votovaka and tofind out years and years vanhu vachifamba nemakomba. So we are going to change the game and we are going to do it different.
Okay, so no, thank you for that. So we'll definitely be getting a hold of you behind the scenes. We'll definitely be coming down to the country maybe in the next week or so. There are various things that I've come through this platform, especially because of Tinashe. We've hosted bankers here. We have a young man, Anand Takwana, who came through this platform, and he's been able to raise about £3 million from diaspora investors. And he's one person I think you guys can have a good conversation when it comes to finance and understanding how the diasporas can save up. Because the unfortunate thing is a lot of people in the diaspora are spending the exact same amounts of money that you're talking about on things that are not property and that they cannot pass on to their families. You see people buying cars for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 because they qualify for the credit. But if you have properties that are available, NGO, you can work a way out that people can buy and finance these things from this end. Even international banks will be happy to work with you guys as long as the stuff on the ground is organized. So we'll definitely make a trip and having a sit down with you guys so we can work on such ideas. And then we also have people who want to buy land who can only afford the land, but know that if you come in and build, maybe they'll want to resell the properties, even resell multiple properties. So it opens up different groups of investors. So I'm hoping that your website then breaks down those various aspects of at which angle someone can come in, because maybe I only have 50 or 70,000 to buy some land, and I'd like maybe to develop maybe 4 houses and then sell one of the houses, sell 3, and remain with 1 for myself, which allows me to then have financed my house. So it's I understand there's a construction boom right now. You guys are in the right space, and I'm really impressed with what you guys are doing. I will definitely be having more conversations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tapiwa. Thank you. One thing that you are going to love about us is the genuineness, kurongega. Let me say kurongega, and our approach. We are using the approach that is not greedy. We are using an approach that is very practical. That when you come and try to assess, you see this is genuine. I was saying earlier that it's not a game of taking money, but it's a game of presenting and showcasing what you are selling. Then at the end of the day, I'm sure the business will grow through that kind of approach. So thank you very much, Mr. Tapua. We'll love to have further meeting with you.
Yeah, of course. Just tell us the name of the website so we can also just go through it. And we are happy to help anyone, even especially if you want to break into the Diaspora community. So we worked out.
Let me put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
that'll be excellent. I actually think there's someone in the house who's actually asking me, where's the website? What can we do, right? So you already have a buyer who's very eager to find out more. Okay. And
Yeah,
then,
definitely. Yeah, so
yeah.
that was the next question that I was going to give to you, Dr. Marambire, to say, may we have the number in the chat box. So the other thing is, the reason why I was so eager to bring you up, it's because we have people that we know, and they have been shortchanged a lot, and
Yes.
lost money. And working with these companies, there are some who are even in our platforms that you try to do business with them. When you go on the ground, their communication, it's very, very, like, it's cumbersome. They are not even communicating to the dot. And you discover that they will be having a lot of things that they are not pushing, like my third part. Ekuti anopromisa kuti ari kuita chinhu,
Okay.
but at the end of it all haana zvaari kuburitsa, ari kuda kutotsvaga someone else to come in and fix those problems. So when I discovered that you are actually building and having these things together, I'm actually very happy. If you could say, like you said, you are working in all districts, I think we can work out something, especially with people that we have in the diaspora and who would want to have your company doing things for them. People can actually come up together, whether Gueru and whatsoever, especially when you talked about the website. I'm sure you actually have people coming to the website to say, this is where we are. And I was looking at the cluster homes.
Yes.
Like, for example, if you get land in Gueru and you are the ones who are developing the stands, you are selling them. We'll be very happy to say our people who are there and they want to have businesses in Gueru. We know Gueru, there's MSU, there's what, there's actually money in owning those pieces of land. So we may be very happy to say, no, we are now able to craft a plan and say, Dr. Marambire is the one who is going to be building these houses, and we are going to have a cluster for these people, and these people are going to pay their money, and this is what they will be doing. I'm sure it will actually work. And there are questions that popped up, Nyasha is asking for your number. He's saying, I'm planning on building 40 schools in Zimbabwe. Then Cooper is asking to say, how can one override or limit the risks of being duped when you are starting a business at home while you are in diaspora? Any ideas how you can avoid such things? I'm sure this one will come later, maybe Tapedza at Zimba. Then Rhoda is asking, do you operate in Bulawayo? Then Petronella is saying, if one has material, do you have plans for labor costs only? Then George is saying, is this core house you are talking about fix and supply? Then Trish is saying, are you selling land or giving leads on land for these magical houses? Then Sfiso, I'm sure this is a comment to say it's important to be tax compliant. Then Nyasha was asking about the website. I'm sure it's being shared. Then Sfiso is saying, Director Lifestyle, thank you for raising this. The temptation of living large and beyond one's means is very real in Zimbabwe. Delayed gratification is key, important. Thank you, Chairperson. Then do you have specialists who work on foundations that need reinforcement? That's Petronella. Then Dr. Marambire has shared the www.bamlo.co.zw, and that is the website. So Sfiso is saying, I would love to be mentored by Doc. So Doc, we are going to create a mentorship group with you, that you will be actually mentoring these people. Mentees are coming; they are coming your way. You should become the Bill Gates of Zimbabwe, and we are happy to have you. So you can proceed with the questions, Dr. Marambire. Esther has dropped, but she had a hand up. I'm not seeing her now. Esther, are you still there? Esther, you have got your hand up. You can ask your question, then Doc will attend to the questions from the chat box. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity. All right. Welcome, Dr. Marambire. It's such an honor to have you. I've got a cocktail of questions and contributions. So
Okay.
I'll start with the contributions, then I'll finish with the questions.
Okay.
So I wanted to reiterate on the like to give a bit of insight on the matter which was raised by someone about politics and business in Zimbabwe. And like you said, that it's very possible to run a business in Zimbabwe without the interference of politics. I've discovered that most people who talk of politics and interferences, there are people who just want to make excuses for not trying. And if you look at them and you ask those people, if you actually started an enterprise or tried to do something and the government interfered or politics interfered, they'll tell you no. It's just hearsay that they think that when you try to do something, the government will try to be involved. When you are successful, the government will want to come and take over. It's just hearsay stories, like myths which really need to be dispelled. And I'm happy that they've come on board to be one good example that it can be done without roping in politics. And the other thing, politics will never come to the people or to your business, but people are the ones who do go to look for politics and want to
Exactly.
so that they
Yeah.
get the easy way out, so that they get away with short-changing people and all those things. They go
Yeah.
like a cover, an umbrella to hide from their failure to do business. You know, then at the end of the day, when things fail, they will start to blame politics. But politics will never come to you. They don't even know about you. They actually, if you look at all those big ministers and even the president himself, he's actually busy with his own enterprises, farming, this. So it is us people who are lazy, who are looking for scapegoats. And it goes back to what you were talking about, that integrity. That integrity is key. I really, really agree with you. And thank you for bringing it up. For if every business to be successful, I think integrity should be paramount.
Yes.
The way you operate, the way you deal with your customer, the way you deliver your services.
Yes.
Like what you're doing, like construction, the kind of input, like material that you use to build.
Yes.
Integrity, food, you see, even price. I was really happy. I was sharing with my friends group the other day when I saw that poster in my co-houses. This is really reasonable price. 15K for a 3-bedroom, of which you'll find with Kumkoba, 15K is a price for a two-stroke, two-roomed house, stroke, very, very old houses with crack, the Kumkoba,
Yes.
those which are 15K on 120 square meters of land. You see?
Yes.
So when you're getting a new house, which is 3 bedrooms for 15K, I think that's a bonus. And just quickly, can you clarify kuti pa 15,000 stand ndatenga ndege kana kuti ndimunosupplya futi stand yacho neimba yacho?
Pa 15,800 the stand will be yours. Apart from that, fix and supply, and the house inenge chisvika pa stage yekuti yaiswa yarushiwa mazen'e, yaiswa ceiling, materials, paint and plumbing zvese. So as you said, I believe in fairness, because when you do business in a fair practices, whoever you work with, I don't know, pass someone as a reference. And we decided to focus on low to middle income earners. Because most of the time you see people at my clusters, 150,000, 250,000, they are targeting those with money. And due to my background, I want to save the communities which are being marginalized. That community, constitute a higher population in the world, because vanhu low to medium income earners ndo vakawanda. Saka thank you very much for what you have said, and manyatsokuzadzisa zviri accurate in terms of politics and business, and I agree with you. Thank you very much. You may proceed.
All right. So just I wanted to ask as well. I tried to have a hardware business as well. Just before I came to the UK, I had a hardware business. It was doing well. Some door frame, chamber, pendi and stuff. Then I'm not one of those people who want to lie and hide the economy, yakaviringa, or politics and stuff. Truth of the matter is, I myself, I failed because of, especially at the inventory management as well. Because I never had the software to manage inventory, stock take and stuff. And from your experience, is there a way or any way of managing inventory really sustainable?
Okay, I like your honesty. Zvinoitika mubusiness mukanyatsa kuzvitaimira, hakuna business rinongodona. It's like when we are trading and receiving revenue, pane pamwe patinobhaisa isusu pachedu, like you'd find a person achinotenga mota ye6,000 imari yestock yatotorwa kai. So inini, I'm this person who said when I started my business ndakati I go on salary, and salary yangu inoprocesswa at the same time panoprocesswa mari dzese, and I don't take charge of business money. Zvazokuti iwe ndori kuti kana vanhu vapedza kutrade mari yose wopuwa wobatoenda nayo kumba. Musononzi hanzi mama vana mapirisi eBP wotora pamari iya, musononzi school fees wakutora pamari iya. Zvinobva zvaita kuti utadze kuita recycle yestock, kuita restock, because for example in most businesses kana uchiita zviri legit, profit margin is very small. We are selling cement, a truck of cement tinoorder ne 5.5 totengesa cement $10 towana 6,000, saka profit and it's only $500 to $600. Then now if you look at it with a conscious inenge siri focused, kana wabata mari truck 6,000, you feel like that is my money and use it as if all of it is your profit. So ndo panoitika most of challenges kurana business. Saka yamuri kutaura yokumonitor inventory, chekutanga you have to understand your moving lines of goods. If cement is the one which is selling most, make sure you have cement in stock. If there are door frames that are selling most, make sure that you have door frames in the stock. And you need to restock before they are completely finished. Saka stock you can put my circulator an average of 300 door frames, 150 left, 150 right, which means as soon as your stock is reducing, you need to reorder. Now the challenge in it can be to some door frames. I am not stock I take yes one day. Once I take some door frame already, once I take for at the end of the week, what take 50 or 100 door frames. But Maria Panga Kuya and the Angashins Bamganza now Usavi, Yakutenga Usavi, Motaganza na few, Yakudi few. So you are already starting using the profit before even you trade and get back the capital which you are supposed to use to purchase. This could be a topic for another day, but that is the most fundamental aspect in my business. And in what I mastered when I started my business way back 05, I made sure that I separated myself and the business. Right now, not bragging, we're having our annual general meeting, and the whole gross income of our organization, I think we're beyond 3.6 million, right? But then come and check the kind of life that I'm living, lifestyle, and the way how we spend. I think the biggest asset I can say we bought is a Ford Raptor, which took not more than 120,000, and then maybe money for donations for the wedding, for the Imbeana Nyati and the other school fees that we pay, and a business seminar that we did in September. But otherwise, we make sure that we recycle, we rotate the money for the business so that we grow the revenue. We've never acquired a loan since we started our business in 2011. A bank loan. So how we survive, we make sure that as much as we trade, we invest back the money into the business. So we are not those people who enjoy holidays or overspending. The moment you start spending money in business, you receive salary or dividend, then it's out to stock. And once you just stock, business not jet.
Yeah, exactly. So that one, you can safely go to the question, Dr. Marambire, Guti, like Nyasha, I'm sure the website has been shared and you're also going to share. So the 3-bed you have responded. There's another one, Yaguti, if one is material, do you have plans for labor costs? only?
Okay, yes, we do have an option for providing labor alone. Unfortunately, cannot she provide the labor alone? The client will lose other benefits that they could have enjoyed if we are supplying goods and material. Let me just give a short breakdown. If we are supplying labor and goods, we have an opportunity to get a good revenue because tichatanga kuti pamabricks atiri kutengesa chero tikati profit yedu i2% yekumabricks toti rivers and cement, all the material, we are going to gain revenue from that. This is the reason why we then say kana tichikuvakira fix and supply mvura utengi. We know that from the profit that we are going to get from all the material, supplying water will not cost us much. But now if we only come to do labor only, which means we don't have privilege to benefit from all other building material. So we then remove water, you need to supply yourself. And then even accommodation, storage, you need to supply storage of on your own. So all those benefits you are going to lose. And at the end of the day, it's a cost. I understand in a project we can spend plus or minus $600 for buying water because a bottle of water is going for about $50, 5,000 liters. So when we are providing labor only, which means the client will not benefit free water and free accommodation.
Great. And then the other question is this core house you are talking about fix and supply? I'm sure you have responded to it to say it's a fix and supply, yeah?
Yes.
Then Trish was asking to say, are you selling land or giving leads on land for these magical houses?
We are, as I said, we are targeting rural district council. You know, people, they don't know, but all peri-urban areas in every city, it's owned by a rural district council where land is cheaper. So I will give you a good example for Harare. Harare is surrounded by KwaZulu, but the rural district council, Goromonzi, Yegu Beatrice inonzi Manyami rural district council. So you depend on 5 kilometers out of town, very, very peri-urban. That land belongs to the rural district council and it's cheaper as compared to the Harare City Council land. And the rural district council, they've got too much land, varsity land. Most of it is using as grazing land. So that is where we are targeting. I'm actually sharing with you our deep secret on how to do this project. So we are targeting this land, which we know is cheaper. And we are working progressively, as I was saying, Panama Rural District Council at Totipa land at a very affordable prices. Because if virgin land, I could do rather than develop the land. So I want to believe that as we progress, we are going to have Mustangs at Nengetishi. Would not want to sell Mustangs. We would want to build houses on those stands and sell complete houses.
Okay, well, your intention is to sell complete houses, not to do the stands and then people build something like that. Like what other companies would do to say, no, we are selling the stands. After selling the stands, you can choose either to use us as your contractor or something like that. So you'll be wanting to parcel out the house.
Yeah, we don't want to divert our business into land developing. Land developing looks like a very good business. Unfortunately, land developing yangufanana nebutcher. Anongopesera wasungwa chete because ukangeta butcher machances ototengesera ng'ombe yakadiwa aripo. So land developing, your chances to be a land baron are very high because you will be tempted. Look, land is a God-given, resources. Land. And as I said, most of people are going to grade a road gravel. For me, I regard that as unfair because you want to land takaripo na mwari ripo. Iwangonda palendi yacha wangonetu wangono grade as maroad. Wakutotengesa on that land nemari very high, 20,000, 50,000. So which means these people are getting money for free. I would not want to be part of that group. At least if we are going to develop land, we build houses so that we don't end up being land developers.
Ah, great. So Petronella was asking to say, do you have specialists who work on foundations that need reinforcement? Maybe I think this question is being directed like land iri yakaita kunge ma-wetlands or something.
Wetlands.
Ichida basa rakati wandei.
Trukwakaimba Madam Boss. I think makaiona yakaita noise a lot on social media.
That one. I was going to come
So
to it at the end of this session to ask to say, can you shed more light? Anyway, you can go
so
ahead.
it's one of the houses to remove wetland, and we are going to do special foundation. The house that we are building in Mutare, it's an upstairs. Remove wetland. We are doing a special foundation, and we've got a number of houses that we've done the Adama special foundation. So normally what we do is also we've got expertise, but remember, any project in order for a special foundation, we are forced to engage an engineer. So patino engage an engineer, it's up to the engineer to take a soil test or run of bango recommend reinforcement in Odikana, then to reinforcement. But we will be working under a supervision of a registered engineer.
That's great. I'm just trying to run down the chat box. Then 3-bed house or a 3-roomed house. Can you clarify on this? That's Kamchirai. She's
It's a 3-bedroom house. It's a 3-bedroom house in a bathroom, a toilet. So the bathroom and the toilet, there's one bathroom in combined in a shower or a tub in a chamber. Then goes a single toilet. Normally, this is a recommendation in town. In Benfanangeni, toilet is independent, then in the toilet in a shower. So that in the house, kana mumnachi geza. Vanhu vanokwanisa access kushandisa mabathrooms.
Okay. So you are confirming that this is a 3-bed house, not a 3-roomed house, right?
Yes, it's a 3-bed house.
Okay. So Gamchirai, I'm sure you're answered. Then Mavima is just saying true that fairness is good in business. Nyama yakanaka inozvitengesa yega. Then Nyasha, I'm sure Arungo confirm out business is not your private bank. I love the salary issue. Then Mavima is asking to say, do you offer assistance for people to buy genuine stands? Because a lot of people are being scammed.
Okay, we currently have got some stands in Bluffview and the Masasa Park. But now what happened, these stands from the council, but Angas Nama title deeds. We partnered with the developers. We are working on registering the land through the Surveyor General. Once title deeds are available, I think there are 22 stands. That's what I think we will refer people to buy. Now, in generally, land has been an issue, especially in urban setup in Zimbabwe, where you now don't know who is selling genuine and who is selling fake land. So due diligence is required. Only what I can advise, if you can hear anyone selling a stand, request for a site plan or subdivision or land division map layout, then you can want a layout to check out it approved area, or otherwise to confirm with the local authority of that particular area. If it is Harare in the city of Harare, unobvunza kuti mastands awari legit here kana muri mukadoma kana gwero. That one is very important. Don't rush to buy, because dzimba dzamunoona dzichiputswa dzia for your own information. We don't need to blame the council. They are so hunger to build. It's only kuti munhu nemunhu ari kuda kuti aendawo pangu pokugara. Kurenda kunorwadza. Ende kuvaka tinozwa kuti kana ukavaka imba, it's a legacy for the future generation. Vana vako kana ukazonza wasisipo vanosara vane pekugara. But please confirm with the local authority kuti mastands awari legit here. Because vari pamwe vanotosva pakutotara marodzi vandachitaura zvazviya kuti akuisa kana camping office and everything, but that land will not be genuine. Kana tichiti land haisi genuine, iland yaya inenge isina kupiwa development certificate or development permit, which means someone anga ne land yake akatanga kugadzira maroads and now quit a change of use because most of the land in Zimbabwe was meant for agriculture. So now when you want to establish a residential, you need to make change of use. There are applications that are being done and there are developing permits that are being obtained for the local authority to accept a private land to have a residential. So it's very, very important to do due diligence.
That's great. Thanks, Dr. Marambire. Then Prosper is saying thank you for the expounding on political interference in Zimbra. My last question is, are you also involved in bore drilling and solar installation? If so, what are the charges for someone living in further rural areas from town?
We don't do bore drilling. We have got some friends who are into bore drilling and solar installation. I think you see what happened after we completed the Imba Nanyati here. Kwakazoya na maketeni vachinoisa maketens, kwakazoya veglow, inonzi GI glow, solar installers vachisa masolar. So this is what we do. After the project is completed, we can refer some other companies which can come and provide services that we don't provide. You know, honestly, kana uchida kuva munhu ari genuine handifungi kuti ungaita rese rese. You have got your strength and one was zvaunenge uchiita. But ukata that mentality yekuda kutora yekuti wasuda kupindwa nemari, I think that's another red line or red flag, I mean to say, kana uchiitirwa basa to use kuti ujudge kuti munhu ari genuine here kwati asi genuine. Ukana munhu ari kuti everything chawati unoda kuita unongoti ndii ndoita ndipe mari, I start to question then kuti iwewe saka uri kuita zvese. Imboonawo munhu anoti izvi zvatiiti tokurifeya kuna someone so that you know genuinely wewe saka chako chaunoita ndechipi. Isusu tinovaka and pakuvaka pane patinopererawo. Masolar bore drilling so far izvo no, we don't do, but we can recommend some companies that we know they can do a better job. Unfortunately, we cannot guarantee because my companies are garanonetsa vanoita basa according to the way how they do their things. Saka we will not be able to guarantee kuti ano uyu watatokupa uyu totosimbisa kuti ndiye anokuitira zvakanaka. No, you need to make your own due diligence and make sure that you are happy and satisfied by those companies we can refer to.
Yeah, ipapa ndofunga the reason why abvunza that question Dr. Marambire, vanhu vemabhoho zvibaba. Zvibaba chaizvo and a lot of them they short change ground and people they suffer a lot. Especially casings and all that, and it's something that is a discussion for another day. But of course, there are other companies that we can recommend to say, I know these ones they did a very good job on my side. But the next person unosvika akumuitira futi basa rakashata. But I'm sure we are going to manage that. And the reason why Dr. Marambire we are having this discussion yekuti toda kuti imimi muri construction mune makuziva ari kubhoho, mune makuziva ari kuita masolar, muri kuziva ari kuita matiles, ari kuita maketeni and all that. We get those people very genuine kuti vapinde in one platform. So that mari ngaifambe pane vanhu vakachena. Instead of kuti mari inofamba muvanhu kuti munhu ari kushanda izvozvo vanhu vari kubva kumashifts ane maona kuti after shift our numbers abva akwira kusvika ku50 something 60 because vanhu vatochaisa ndokurarawo pamubhedha.
Aiwa guys, muri kushanda rambai makadaro. It's unfortunate kuti matsotsi ndo anowana basa. You know, most of the, but before I proceed with what I want to say, I see Miss V, she was raising her hand. If you can give you a chance to speak.
Oh yeah, great. Miss V, you can come up. Esther also any follow up tozodzokera futi comment section pane vamwe vari kubuda maybe regai ndingomaveri ngati mapedzi mozongomaita. Pakanzi ndiani uyu Frank anokuti I'm inspired besides construction plus school as more on general business management principles, be it from diaspora or directly on the ground. The common challenge in any business is managing human resource. How best can we navigate this? Then Tapiwa is saying, yes, Aungaite everything if you are a genuine person. So that's it from the chat box. We can go to Miss V. Miss V is a YouTuber. She's a travel content creator. Who is actually doing very well. in content creation. They are mentees, Vakundai. And they're actually
Okay.
doing very well, yeah. So for those who are watching this meeting, please go and support Miss V. We want you to rise and be the nyatis of tomorrow. You can go ahead, Miss V.
Your mic is muted.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mkoma Tinash. Mkoma Banabas, thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence, Panab. I'm nervous because I didn't expect this. So, Mkoma Banabas, ini dandine mibvunzo yenyu yakawanda mazoese aya ndachingoti given the opportunity yekuti ndoda kuabvunza something, I had a lot of questions. But moziva kuti kana wazosakana nemunhu wangoiziva kuti uda kubvunza sometimes uneka kudedera. So, I've been in South Africa, Mkoma Banabas, I've been in beauty for more than 10 years now. And because also the reason why I was here was kuti vana vaende kuchikoro and vana izvezvo vakumapeto. And sometimes, you know, as you grow, there's a stage whereby wakuti ndauda kudzokera kumba. An experience yandinayo in business, I've always wanted to open a beauty business kuZimbabwe. Iri on first class beauty. Ndongoti kutora kana kuti beauty business tongoti zvandakopa kunoku for makore ese wayo ndoisa muZimbabwe. But the challenge has always been kuwana nzvimbo yekutoitira business racho, my ideas zvese zvinenge zviripo semunhu ane experience. But kuti uwane chepo kuti ndowane shop muHarare, I've been struggling. I think tongoti every time I come to Zimbabwe, I was in Zimbabwe recently, ndakaya first week of I've been in Zimbabwe from October to first week of December, but no luck.
Can I tell you something?
For one-one's shops.
Can I tell you something? Now people in Zimbabwe, what they are doing, varukurenda ma houses, homa converter into offices or operating your business from a house. So that way it's cheaper. Because you can get a full house at $500.
Okay.
You know, a full house at $500. When you say beauty, you are referring to what? Beauty therapy?
Yes.
Okay, so I think the first thing is to look for, if you say the top class, which means you are likely to go in low density areas. If you are talking of Zimbabwe, that is maybe from Marlborough, Avondale, Borodale, Highlands, that side. And you can get a full house at maybe 1,125 per month. So that's another advice that I can give you. It's the easy way to go.
Okay.
Because looking for a complete shop, you know, a room which you can find for 800 in town, it's quite very small.
Okay.
And it will not be ideal for your business because I think you'd need a place which can allow people to relax, a nice car park where you can also put a very nice reception and maybe different rooms to accommodate many people. So I've got a number of people who are more real estates. I will link you up or I will ask if they can get a good house at a very good rate. But that one seems to be a very small issue.
Thank you so much.
But can I interject? Can I interject a bit? I have a further question. Like Dr. Marambire, yes, you've given you advice towards Harare. Why are you targeting Harare?
My questions are going to be stage because zvakawanda zviri mupfungwa ndangobvunzira the beauty side only. Ndine mamwe ideas that I had.
I know about the Harare beauty. Why are you targeting Harare? Do you have a specific reason why you are targeting Harare? I have a further response to that.
Yes. Harare number one is because, of course, you know, I was born and bred in Harare. And also, just because I travel to Harare all the time, ndinoona pari kushota zvinhu. Like, I have got vanhu anondisupply kunoku. If I can get those same things that I'm getting supplied kunoku, if I can get them to Zimbabwe, it's something chandinotoona ndega kuti this one is a gap.
Okay. My Go ahead, Dr. Marambire.
I think the other issue here is the nature of business. You know, when we talk of beauty therapy and we try to think of small towns, the market can be small. in small towns, because most of people who are small towns, they are busy. And even in terms of lifestyle, kuti ndifunge kuti munhu nini ari kugara zvake kumukobha kati kuzvishava nekumakwasha ade kunoitwa beauty therapy, massaging, unowana 2 or 3. So but talking of Arise the center, and I'm sure she'll get good market in Harare.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And then I also had an idea.
Inini ndatine uyu yekuti pane mall iri kuvhurwa kuShurugwi. Target that one. Get a shop.
Shurugwi kupi kwacho? I've been kuShurugwi. Kupi kwacho?
Shurugwi is in Midlands Province. What I tell you, I live in Shurugwi myself. Vanhu vokuShurugwi vanotoda zvinhu, vanotozvida, and they have the money. So inini hangu my nature ndeyekuti, like what Dr Marambire is doing, I target the poor. When I target the poor, I want to produce a product yekuti vanoi afford. If it means you are going to make $1 out of 1 million people, right? Look at the demographics of Zimbabwe. If you look at the demographics of Zimbabwe, it will tell you that vanhu vakawanda vari kurarama zvavo, but dhora vanaro. But ukanosvika ukavachaja $10, they may not afford. But if it's $1, uchimasaja mukorokoza, and they tell you that they are going to give you the money, what is it that you want? You want the money. So in I am of the opinion that as you are targeting Harare, get Harare, but also get a smaller town like Shurugwi. I'm giving you Shurugwi because ndobva ikoko. Inini ndaiproducer huku dzakaita kunge madhadha kudai, dzakakura dzakanaka. Pandaingosvika nadzo kuShurugwi, ndarisingadzitengeseri mutown, ndaizitengesera mama Mbowa. Ndaingosvika pashopu ndongosiya huku dzangu, ndotoinda ndodzoka ndichitora mari yangu vatengesa. They were very good in doing that. So as you are doing it, ukawana iko Harare, target a smaller town, but target kwaunoona kuti kune mari iri kubuda yakawanda, like kunana Shurugwi. Those guys, they make money. Pavanenge vakafarisisa, magorokoza anogona kutokusiyira mari yakawanda yekuti unogona kushamisika kuti is this the amount of money that I'm getting from these people? And the Harare people, remember, competition itoriko, variko vari kutozviitawo zvavari kuitawo izvozvo, and vari kuda kutodyawo. Saka mari yauchaisa pakuinvesta inogona kuwanda compared to mari yauchange uchidini uchiharvesta. That's my take. You can go ahead, Miss V. Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay. I also wanted to know, kana mine idea, Banabas. For example, you want to build a school in the deep rurals. You know, there are those, like he said, I'm a travel YouTuber. I travel a lot, and I've been traveling too much in Zimbabwe for the past 3 months, which got December. I'm just on a break, but very soon, Rutanga food. So when I was traveling, I also noticed that there are those deep rurals whereby children walk up to 10 kilometers to schools. So places like that, if you'd like to build a school, I don't think kuti zvingazodhura nedzimwe nzvimbo dzandaiona dzinge dzine maschools akanyanyowanda.
Let me say something, guys. I would want to speak something very general. Okay. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing. I'm going to give you practical examples.
Okay.
The issue I've spoken about a mass schools rural, deep down maru. And then in the example, yes, I want to be a little bit different from what you have said. I'm going to give you a practical example of what I encountered. But remember, there's no one formula to business. But we can use certain examples to assist us in decision making. Right. Let me start with a good example of a beauty therapy that you want to establish. The reason why I will not encourage a remote place like Shurugwi and other remote places where people are not familiar with your nature of business. You are going to use a lot of money advertising and convincing people to like your product, which is very, very cost. So when we do generally, when you want to establish a business, you study the market and look at your potential clients. So if you look at a place and potential clients are 2 or 3, it's a risk to establish a business there, especially if it's considered luxury, because you will take time to educate, to advertise, to convince, and make sure that people are in love with your product. That is very common and easy to big companies which are already established. We have got the resources to do that. Isusu kana tichiri kutanga chatiri kuda at most kana ndichiti business ranonoka kundipa return yangu. Let's talk of 6 months. Ukaona run business for 6 months, risina return, then try to assess it if it is worth to continue kana tipo watosiyana naro. Right. Ndochuya back to issue yechikoro. I've got a private school that I built in Berengwa.
Okay.
When I built this school, ndakatoitanga chivaka nema-face break. Idea yangu ndaida kuunza what to call grade A school. Kune dzimwe nyika kuti ma-English medium. But to tell you the truth, ndakasvika pakugwadama ndika-accepta. Ndikajoina the rest of the schools. Because mberi kunoya, ike zvinoti kuti fees yevana chayo, takatanga tiri pa 250. Vanhu vakabvisa vana pachikoro vari kubhadhara 170. Vabhadhara 170 ndine 12 teachers. Sometimes I pay teachers with my own money because the environment in a market cannot afford what I wanted to bring to them. Right now I'm stuck. If someone wants to buy a school, I can sell that school because I've never benefited from it. The guy established a college in 2016. So in this process, I learned a lot of things. Business, right? Chekutanga market. In fact, kaudotanga business, my business, I don't track a problem. Then we have to solve a problem. That way you can easily get market. Let me give you a good example. Let's say Marare Mozimbrairi Kunet. Indonotenga boza rangure 30,000 liters. Ndakuchera mvura chinotengesera vanhu. The market is already there. I don't need to market. I don't need to convince people to like my product. It becomes easier to run business that way. But this issue of to tap into a market, it's important to come and do massage, massaging, beauty therapy, stress, blood circulation. Blood circulation, so you find out those guests gochi, entertainment, ugata hembe, ugata chikafu, amnetani. But now we should tell all right. Let's say, for example, our convincer. You might find out Mushuru Munembinga, Mr. Tanashi may confess, Pamunembinga 5. Sakanoga Rashimasaja Mbinga Ziagwe, Pakupe Sereno Najamari, Dintrukungo Yashiti Chipisirao. So, in short, what I want to say is if you want to establish a business, and there are 2 different things which I'd like you to understand. And now, at my level, some of those things I can afford. Right? Why I'm keep on running the school in the rural area? I've got other businesses that are giving me good revenue. So this is now like a give back to the community. It's more like a community service. So if you go into, on the 16th of May, we launched a credit facility to build for schools. And with the minister was there, deputy minister was there, and other directors. And they appreciated that program. But this program, when you look at it, it's a long-term benefit. So I'm trying to emphasize on how should we handle ourselves when we are starting a new venture. I went to DRC, it's a story for another day. Tikaneta construction. Ndakanotanga zviri wrong. Business rakandrova double kicking ndikadzoka muZimbabwe. So I went to Namibia, I did the same. Right now we are in South Africa. I was in Joburg last week. We are going to start building low-cost houses, the same way we did in DRC. So, guys, when it comes to establish a new business in a new environment and a new area, take your time, don't rush, and don't invest all the money that you have. At least maybe do it gradually. Somebody, for example, need 20,000, take invest 5,000 chona, kana zvichifamba wese imwe 10 imwe 5 zvichifamba wese imwe 5 kusvika wazoita fully come into the picture. So I think those are my submissions that I felt I need to share with you. Mainly I'm focusing on my experience. As I said, it doesn't mean that there's one formula to business. There are other people who said like what Mr. Tinashe said, and it worked. But I was sharing what I've experienced.
No, you are very right, Dr. Marambire. I was actually laughing on the issue of trying to educate munhu atori nemanga zvake ari kutobva kwaari kubva and trying to teach them, the new things. But anyway, I'm sure from the chat box we got all the messages. I have a new speaker, Gamshirai. I'm sure she wants to ask a question, then we go to Esther. Oh, Miss V, have you finished your question?
Angu akawandisa ambopera mukomati Tinashe. Regei vamwe vambotaura.
No, you keep coming back if you still have them, right?
Okay, no, I will come back. Again,
okay, that's okay. Gamchira, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Tinashe. Thank you, Mr. Marambire, for the wonderful information that you are giving us. My question to you is, do you do what do we call them? Like, let's say I have my stand. The next stand yangu kuBed Bridge, which is standing on 1,200 square meters. And then like maybe a quotation. That's the way a quotation kuti work and kuti I need to raise this money so that I can ask Dr. Marambire now to come and start my project. Do you have such facilities? Kuti ndogona kudza kuti stand yange yakadai kuBed Bridge, you can go see it. And kuda kuvaka ma units, maybe my 2-bed units ipapo pa 1,200 square meters iyoyo panokwana mangani. How much do you think I can work towards raising kuti project ite kickstart or mutange kundibatsira basa rangu? Do you have such facilities within your company?
Yes, we do. In a situation like you have described, you can give a site plan without going to Bed Bridge. Site plan, show my dimensions extend. Then to draw my plans first. Chinotanga in every stage of construction, it's a plan. Because without plan, you cannot say anything. Tinoswana mivunze kuti munhu anofona kubvunza kuti naimwe 3 bedrooms inoita mari. It's difficult to answer that question because zvinenge zvakafanana kuti ndongokufona ndoti pamwe unotengesa mombe ndoti komombe black inoita mari. Saka pane ma-descriptions anofanira kunge aripo kuti i3 bedroom house ine total area yakakura zvakaita sei, ine marooms akakura zvakaita sei, yakaiswa ma-aluminum windows iri kuti must windows, yakavakwa ne230 wo here, 230 ndeya double wo kuti isingle wo, tiri kurufa nematiles here kuti thatching uswa kuti tiri kuisa mazen'e. Saka there's a lot of descriptions that will be required for us to come up with a quotation, ma'am. Now, what I would advise, it's like we can do the plan for you, but if you got someone and who draw it right, it's fine. And who draw it right. But once you engage us, like, okay, guys, indeed, draw my plans. My plans are get us so. If there's no life is easy. Muganda pa internet, mnokwa na floor plan. Pa the Pinterest here or so many websites. Can I floor plan? Guys, this is the type of the house that I want. Then it's to draw a plan. Katapeza draw a plan. Tochikwanza kuita quotation. Once tata quotation, mochibata quotation imakuza kuti no project yangu iri kuda kuti 20,000, but project yangu kuda 30,000. Then maybe tochitaura na payment conditions.
Okay, thank you for that. So I'll get in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
Are you a customer, Madam Gamchirai? Are you a customer? We want customers here to be coming up and take the honors, like to support our doctor. We want people who build synergies from here and come with testimonies in 6 months.
Yeah, you know what, Tinashe, that's the reason why I joined this meeting today. I'm one person who is a go-getter. If I want something, I go for it. And it's so good that with the first meeting that I joined, Mr. Marambire has just proved to be a person that I didn't think he was. And from the way he responds to questions, you can see kuti munhu ari genuine. Kana zvichizovawirawo havo. But I really liked the way you are handling your business and even the advice you were giving, like fanka pataurwa issue ye beauty therapy and everything. You find kuti vanhu vakawanda don't understand the importance of geographical locations in like munzvimbo dzatinogara. People don't understand that. Ndiruma group sevanhu vakawanda kasiyana siyana ekuti when you try to tell them the difference between being in Marlborough and being in Mufakose, some people up to now, they don't understand that. And the way you responded to her when she was talking of having a beauty therapy, mukapa example, even from my hometown where I come from, Zhishavane. Honestly, you cannot go to Zhishavane and say, Ndrukuda kuvura massage, uno massajani, mukadzi wa manager wekumimosa nema friends ake vari 5. You are done. But Harare being Harare, you know, when people are in Harare, they are in Harare. Vanotoda zvinhu zvakanaka. Handisi kuti kushavana havazvidi, but kuHarare they prioritize that. Saka, thank you so much for your information. But I'll keep in touch. Honestly, Tinashe, just keep me. You can even track me.
I know. And you know myself, when I bring someone up, I would have done like my due diligence in checking what they are doing, what is it that they are doing. You know, we are doing this like freely. It's philanthropy to Zimbabwe. What we want is, if you are putting your money, put your money where you know it's going to build something. And we turn from this colonial mentality of saying only where we see whites is where we see money. We should be able to see our own black people being millionaires. And when they are millionaires as black people, it means our communities, they are going to live better. And we transform ourselves. And I always tell the Irish guys here to tell them that, you know what, guys, you always call us blacks and all that, but we are proud. And I'm the only person who can say I'm black. Because you cannot say that. If you say that I'm black, they will label you as racial. But if it's myself saying I'm black and I'm proud to be black, you cannot say anything because I'm the one who is black. So these people, when they went to Africa, they went for the minerals and they built America. They built England. They built their countries. The ones that we are admiring today and say their economies are functional, they were not done by people who were not from those countries. They were done by the natives. Our own Banabas Marambire. What is it that we can take ourselves as Zimbabweans to say, yes, this is a black Zimbabwean who is doing this, let's support. We are here in Europe simply because these people, they did something to our economy and we are taking the money. If we are taking it back home, let it be safeguarded. This is the reason why we are having these meetings. To make sure that we safeguard the hard-earned cash, we make sure Dr. Marambire's company is still ticking and it's working well. If he makes money, we can also make money. And we can also find value out of whatever that is producing. So, Dr. Marambire, as you are responding to Madam Government, there's another question that popped from the chat box. I'm seeing there are 2 hands up, Esther and Matsi. Is it Matsi is down? We have big companies like Zimbuild for Mr. Tinashe Manzungu, well established and think it's now operating at national level. My question is, when they do fix and supply, they make sure they source quality and standard material. How do we know that if material supplied it's good quality as a house is a long-term investment? Please clarify on that. I'm sure mambotaura nezvazvo. You can
ndambotaura nezvayo ndichiti I can repeat again in terms of quality material. You know, isusu hatisikuita hit and run. on the contract that we sign and on the project that we do, we are trying to build a name through that. We were established in terms of construction around 2013, which means it's almost now more than 10 years in business. We could have bloom and grow rapidly. Zvakaita vamwe vangotanga kungo simuka. Tine macompanies akawanda akawira kumashure kwedu. Akabloom akaita big companies akaita noise. And then nowadays seems like havasi sipo. Also zvuti chavabudisa business chi. So isusu we are believing in growing our organization slowly but on a very strong foundation. I would not be able to answer on behalf of other companies, but isusu as a company, what we are trying to do, we don't boast much on ukuru company. Isusu want to boast much on good project execution, good workmanship and communication. I think if you can try to check with the individuals who have built with us, you'd find out that in terms of communication, we are very professional. Do you know apana chinonakidza sokuti uri kuvaka imba yako kumusha haupo uri kufona uchida kunzwisa something munhu wokutsanangurira noti kublutikiwa kana kutukwa some vanototukwa chaiko. And then let me say this, vanhu vari kudiaspora, I don't know hangu chii chinoitika. Aiwa vanhu kudiaspora vanombotuka zvavo. Sometimes ndinotombopika fo ndobva ndanyarara for damn good 15 minutes uchiudzwa chat, then wazopedza kutuka uchizotsanangoti aiwa no mem kuti no say. Zvinhu zvakamira so regai tumire mapiki. Munhu azoona uchitanga kuti okay, because ndachingoasuma kuti vanhu kuZimbabwe mose muri matsotsi. So I think zvimwe zviri kuitawo nekuti environment yatiri kushandira mairi vanhu vatsotswa vanzwa. Saka akangona any element iri related kune zvakamboitika zvechitsotsi, vanhu vachanobva vachaja zvekuti I listen on the phone. If I was driving, ndotopaka mota paside, munhu achikunonga left, right, center. Yeah, muri matsotsi mazodai, don't want that, you don't keep time. So what I've learned now to deal with people in the diaspora, the best thing is to keep quiet, listen, then only respond when vapedza kutaura. So kuzointeracta, the conversation will not go well. But otherwise, no, you guys, you are giving us good business. We really appreciate you. We have got more than 50 houses that takavaka. Unfortunately, hand over to the relatives, then you move on. I would wish if it was possible to meet with all our clients. Tombosangana when person pande kwasazobvunza kuti ko memu kana kuti se paya mai mishini yakuzovava paya zvinenge zvaita sei. But otherwise in terms of good quality material, we try to supply what is the best, because even on our contract we are giving 12 months guarantee, which is not isingabhadharirwe insurance kana any tax. And then in the event we tine mama circumstances ekuti unosiya mabuilders, isu mabuilders toti vanhu vokanganisa basa. If a client raises a problem, even months tabva pa project, we go back and rectify, which we think is a good after service, which we offer to make sure that at the end of the day, it's a good relationship with client.
No, thank you so much, Dr. Marambire, for Azina Esther, Dr. Marambire, Tregereyo. Tinenge takarohwa nedepression, nestress, nedepression yogara tichitukwa nevarungu kunoku. No, that's fine, Dr. Marambire. I think what is really important is we need to safeguard our money. My relatives, they do imagine. You wakatobvawo uchina unotsvaka basa. Kuti at least ndikabuda ndinogona kunoraise capital. The same person wakasiya asina kumbobata 10,000 US dollars. Iwo wakumupa 10,000 kuti anotenga marata. You're actually risking the money, because urikuisa mari pamunhu anotori need yemari. And that person can say, okay, I can take $1, I replace it tomorrow. Mangwana mari yacho haichabudi. Mangwana otora another $1.
You know what Mr. Tonight? You know what Mr. Tonight? Aiwa, vanhu vari kudiaspora ukaona uchiinvolva your relatives on a project yaunotumira mari, itozva kuti iwewe ndiwatova business racho, because look, mari hasinyatsi kutendera zviri proper. and then wakundipisa pamuedzo kundipa 5,000 handina kambani handina basa ndosara ndiri pamba ndiri paWhatsApp ndichiteera masocial content creators paFacebook ndichida data, and then wakuchindipa 5,000 and munhu wauri kupa mari umwe wachona haatoziviwo kunotengwa zvinhu, haatozivi kuti kana achinzi ndanotenga ma0.4mm roofing sheets akasiyana chii nema0.25. saka angozaona ma0.25 ari wakachipa ka iwangu wambomba achindawana kwaanoita $20 ari ma0.4mm, iye unoona ma0.25mm achiita $6. Honestly kutaura chokwadi pamberi uno achiti ndatomaster ndaona kwakachipa otenga zvinhu zvazvakachipa, not knowing kuti in terms of quality zvinhu zvakasiyana. So I think the best way to engage munhu ane knowledge nebasa racho zvine zvakakosha. Kana uchida zvemapirits tsvaka munhu ane knowledge kune zvemapirits, kana uchida zvechikoro tsvaka munhu ane knowledge kune zvechikoro, kana uchida zveconstruction tsvaka munhu ane knowledge nezveconstruction, kana uchida kana even mishonga yemombe. Ndanzwa atete vamboti vari mugoat farming, haungangotoriwo munhu asina knowledge oti ndanonitengera mushonga wembudzika, because wamadescribe kana wachita $100 iye uzononzwa kuti kunomwe 60, haasi kuziva difference. Iye angona paita change ozati chinhu chiri kudikanwa nehama yangu ndatenga but ndaona change yange $40, ndodi ndombonodyiwa yemusana.
Pakaipa ipapo pane nyaya because a lot of people vanopedzisira aroza mari simply because of that. Esther, your hand has been up for some time now. You can proceed with your question.
Thank you. I'll just try to wrap up everything so that my hand can go down for air. All right. So I just wanted to also start commenting on the issue. Just advice to Kuti she can still, she can consider changing line of business to suit zviripo ground considering economy in Zimbabwe, and not to be a wet blanket. Manzwisiro andoita Harare ndoona sekuti inoshanda nemanetwork sterei kuti like vanhu vakangoziva kuti ndipokelo kune kuma-meeting kwavo kwavanosangana, they tend to follow that. She needs to establish social networks. But I think neline raari kuita reYouTube akakwanisa kuestablish akava famous YouTuber, people can follow her, she can market her business there and stuff. That's my little 2 cents. Then the other thing, she can still do nails, but just kuita zvebeauty izvozvo supply, because I know South Africa zvinhu zvachipa nenyaya yerandi, saka she can get zvinhu zvakachipa osupply Zimbabwe yose nema-products ebeauty acho achivastokera. That's another way. Then todzokera kunyaya yedu yemastands. Dr Marambire vataura zvegweru, ndachida kunzwa kuti kugweru kune mastands kwacho ndekupi, nelower gweru area yacho ndekupi. Then tichingobvunza just generally, so amwe tine misha like maruzevha kunana lower gweru. Pakaita nyaya yematitle deeds yakataurwa napresident manje to Dr Marambire vakuya vari kutsvagawo vari kuvakawo kuma-RDC. Misha yedu ichiri safe here? Like what's the long-term plan, like trying to urbanize the rural areas? How far are they going to go? Like if he has got any insight into that, how is it? Because it seems very weird, Dr Marambire. Then the last one, do you have a facility a long-term mortgage, not just construction? Because like 6 months, 10 months, 18 months, like long-term vanhu vasina mari zveshuwa apa mataura zveDiaspora, but I understand kune ma-civil servants ari kuora ma-300, 400, 500 kuZimbabwe. Like oita a long-term mortgage like 20, 30 years achibhadhara $200, $300, $400. Have you considered that, or do you have anything like that in mind? I think that pays.
Okay. All right. In 2013, patakatanga this credit facility, I think kana mukaenda pa internet you see pananzi takazoenda kuoffice kwa president. It was after a massive construction yatakaita through yema nurses, ma teachers, nema gadget. But now our monetary policies in Zimbabwe iri tricky. Because takazotashka muna 2019 mari yese yekanzi yakuita yava equivalent to by then yanga iri RTGS. we lost a lot of money zvokuti business rakatombobroka chaiko akutodona chaikudzokera pasi. So because of that reason, we are now offering my short term. That's why I'm showing even banking system in Zimbabwe is mortgage. Vari kungopa malonzi avo at maximum 36 months, but mostly it's 10 months to 24 months, 12 months. We have adopted a short-term credit facility because of our dynamic monetary policies. The government imposes monetary policies. Then they benefit other people and another group will be losing. Like in 2019, SI yavaka impose na February. Yakabva yaita kuti tiluze mari because vanhu vese vanga vane zvikwere zvema-US dollar vanga vakubvumirwa kubhadhara ne-RTGS at bank rate at 1. Sazvo munhu kana anga achikukwereta $100 anenge akupa 100 RTGS. Yeah, by then I think yanga equivalent to $10. So because of that reason, we are not offering my long-term facilities. Then pane kumamisha kuri safe. Vanhu vari kugara mumamisha vari well protected because they are under the DS office kwamudzviti kuyakwe. Saka kana ari mastenzi anobhadharwa kwamudzviti akaiswa zviri proper, vanhu vari safe. Then mugweru we're trying to talk we are negotiating neVhungu rural district. Vhungu ndiye inobata areas, most of the areas are peri-urban. It's Vhungu neShurungu. So we are going to have mastenzi. Everything will be showing and advertising as we progress. I think mukanyatsokunzwisisa approach yedu yatinoita pabusiness, hatitoda kushandisa tora mari united because at the end of the day we failed. Saka program iri kukura gradually, zvishoma nezvishoma tichikura, and showcasing based on showcasing the good sales that we are going to provide. So I think ndo mafambiro atichaita. Then issue yema-title deeds, zvavanoita muZimbabwe havakupi ma-title deeds against land. They give you title deeds against development. Saka you cannot put title deeds pane land pasina development. They come and assess what have you developed on the land. Then they give my title deeds. In most cases, this is what is happening.
All right, thank you so much. Saka so far hapana nzvimbo dzati dzava earmarked for like dziri definite kuti lowa gweru pakati. And toti like pane vanhu like nzvimbo zhinji handiti munoona dziri kuma-outskirts kunze kwetown, vanhu vakawanda vanogona kunge vanga vakazvigarisa ikokoko vachitorima. Then imimi mapiwa land iyoyo negovernment neVhungu Rural District Council makuda kuti muvake zvinofamba sei pakadaro? Do you like, how does it work, or have you like encountered such scenarios? Ndo pane more bones of contention ipapo muZimbabwe.
Aiwa, zviri kuitika ndezvekuti settlement muZimbabwe kune illegal settlement nelegal settlement. Saka munhu woga woga ari kungogara paakazvipa inonzi illegal settlement. Whether there's development or there's no development, vanobviswa because each and every land ine mazone nema-purposes of kana iri agriculture land is agriculture land, kana iri residential land is residential land, kana iri state land is state land. So there's a lot of legal occupation yanga yakungetwa nevanhu kubva pakaitwa hondo yeminda twana wangozviti maovheti vasvika kudonovaka zvingoenda zvakadaro. But look, this is quite a very broad topic which can be discussed for another day. Mr. Tinashe, Mr. Tapo has raised his hand.
Oh yeah, exactly. So Kupa's question is still there. How can one override or limit the risks of being duped when you are starting a business at home whilst you are in diaspora? Any ideas how you can avoid such things? So that's one question yanga Sarah iriku chat box. Then we go to Mkoma Tapiwa. Then there's a Samsung iriku bvunza kuti mortgage plan yandipotsa iyo doc. Do you mind sharing a link to learn about those services? I'm sure Andipa Mamuchi explain about my short term payments kuti murukupa ma 2 years and all that. So now we have 2 hands coming up. Maybe you can respond to the chat box one. Yeah, yekubvunza about the business, and then we go to Mkoma Tapiwa and Miss V.
All right, yeah, business. You are still in the diaspora and you want to establish something home. I would try to generalize it kuti ibate vanhu vakawanda. Zvazvinoita pabusiness roga roga open a business and you employ people. Vanhu vane system or vane mentality yekuti mbudzi inodya payakasungirirwa. Saka you'd find out that no matter how we try, kubirwa tinongobirwa chete. So what we do is to minimize kubirwa. Right now ndiri kurana mabusiness akawanda, and so far ndine rimwe business randadova ne almost 3 months ndisina kusvika kwariri. But how are we surviving? Because it's almost the same. Kana ndikange ndine business muZimbabwe, but ndikwasaita 3 months kana 6 months ndisina mbosvika pabusiness iroro, ndangofanana nemunhu ari kudiaspora because handipo. So what I would want to say or advise ndezvekuti every business kuti rive successful rinoda ma-structures nema-measures, security measures yatinoti loss control yaunoestablisha pabusiness rako inodzivirira kuti usabirwa. For example, you need ma-measures anonocontrola kuti kana mari ichibva mumaoko ecustomer ichiuya business panotenga vanhu paya, inoreceiviwa nani, inoreceiviwa sei, and kana yareceiviwa business inonogara pai nani, because ndo panowanza kuzodyirwa mari ipapo. Totiri kuita kana huku you're based in UK or you're based in Cyprus or wherever, what I want to kutanga kuestablish huku kumusha tine munda kana farm wotumira mari. Of course vanhu vachiri kuvaka vanotora mari voforomesa zvitina vovaka maforans zviri zvehuku, then wachitanga vachengeta huku dziya unovatengera, unovatumira chikafu, mari yekutenga chikafu chehuku. Sometimes we find out kunonotengwa chakachipa uchida kuti dzidye chikafu chiri right pakuchana profits chakauchikwa zvakanaka, chinenge chichidhura, dzonotengerwa cheap food, dzatengerwa cheap feeding, dzopiwa huku dziya dzichakuri. Saka at the end of the day what you need are ma-measures. Ndosigara ndichipa vanhu good example, ndichiti Standard Chartered hatimuzivi, but ukaona maraniro anoita muZambia, muZimbabwe nokuSouth Africa, if you are not careful unofunga pamuridzi waro arimo mukati. Why? Because vakaisa ma-structures, ma-security measures nema systems in place. Ma-systems ndo anenge achicoordinata kuti who is the manager, who is the cashier, who is the security, emarozi ava vanenge vachifanira kuita. Ini ndichitanga business ndakatanga nema-employees maviri, but ndanga ndine ma-structures ekuti kuna HR, kuna accountant, kuna sales department, kuna marketing. Sometimes because unenge uchiri mudiki pabusiness ridiki, you might not have to employ all those people, but ma-positions ayanga agara aripo, so that you know kana une vanhu vaviri woziva kuti muri 2 muri kuita division, iwe ndori kuita marketing and sales, iwe ndori kuita HR and procurement, so that business richikura manje unokwanisa kuzova nemari zinozokuti pano-employa vanhu ma-structures nema-positions yanenge agara aripo kudhara. Ini ndichitanga business rangu, it was myself and my brother. Ndaita procurement, ndaita HR, ndaita marketing. Mukoma wangu vanga vari kusales chete, ndo vaireceiva mari. But taitori nema-conditions zekuti at the end of the day mareceiva mari. During the day tichitrada, mari muri kureceiva sei? Tatine receipt book rinonyorwa mari, and taimeka sure kuti ngakunyorwe zita remunhu, nephone number, neaddress, nemari, so that kana tikasuspecta kuti apa panenge pashandiswa price iri wrong, tinokwanisa kufonera client. Of course we have to find a way yokubvunza nayo kana kungoti tinofara nokutenda nokutenga kwamaita service yamaona yafamba zvakanaka here, so that you can get an insight pama-receipts yaunenge uchisuspect. Then after that, how do you keep money? Mari yacho yabhadharo yawatrader inochengetwa sei? Now we are talking kuti wahupo uri kudiaspora, vanhu vari pamba, vanhu vari kumusha vari pabusiness. So you need to have ma-structure. Ndichange ndachipa hangu ma-simple examples kungopa light of what I'm trying to say. So inini in my case kuma-business anorana ndiri kure, ndinomeka sure kuti munhu anoreceiva mari haasiri anoita end of day, and kana woita end of day I will make sure that every branch ine vanhu 3. One unoreceiva mari, one ndewe security, wesecurity ndiye anachita dispatch nokureceive, then supervisor ndiye anozotora mari achinoisa parisecure, kana tine safer ndiye anokanda musafe. So the idea ndeyekuti munhu aswera achitengesa haacalculate total kuti at the end of the day awana mari, haacalculate receipt, habati calculate at the end of the day, anongesa mari panofanira kuisa yodropewa. Then supervisor ndiye anozoya uchicross checka mareceipts aya kumeka kuti mareceipts ako aya ari kutala here nefigura wanyora rawadropa. So that my measures are not trying to minimize because these are 3 people who are working, and you try almost to collaborate because each and everyone has different duties, responsibility. So kana uchirana business uri kure, no matter what, you need my structure sakata sewawo, you need my security system nema loss control systems. I don't know, Mr. Tinashe, if the question is answered as you are chairing this meeting.
I'm sure. I think you have responded very well. And we have also mastered the way of doing it and ensuring that, you know, when you are setting up, myself, I believe in quality. When you are dealing with quality, there's no way you are going to get quality when you do not have systems. So your systems,
yes,
they are supposed to be reviewed now and then. And the only way you can manage to review my systems is to make sure that you make the people who are working in that particular job or particular organization, they have to review their own systems. Let them talk about it. Then you take it up from there. Then you say, oh, okay, this is where I need to mend, this is where I need to do. But if you want to do it yourself, kuita zvese iwewe wonozvipedza, at the end of the day, vanokudza kuti rakanganwa apa pato pakanganwa apa.
Mr. Tinash, sorry, you raised something very important. And ndine vanhu vanogara vachiti tokumbirawo masystems enyamuri kushandisa. I would say it's difficult to adopt other company systems. Nemhaka yei, masystem anogrowa nebusiness. Regai ndikupe a good example. Isusu tichitanga business, ndingati chi tikuti system, but system mitemo, rega titi ndo mitemo kwati constitution yebusiness. Yanga ine mitemo mishoma, but mitemo yakakura as we were facing challenges. Because ukafesa challenge yekubirwa kana any challenge yaunenge waface, pamunono correcta challenge yaya, it's a policy. You turn that into a policy. All right, tombori pamwe munhu ati achishaisa at the end of the week, ndobva asimudza chibhokisi chesefa chemari chose akaenda nacho, akanokwachura kwaanga kuenda atora mari yamatrader vhiki yose. Automatically mautesa policy yekuti saka tiri kuti isusu at the end of every day mari inofanira kucollect yatova policy. Tikaita situation yekuti pane munhu anga achitengesa zvinhu zvibuda zvisina receipt, security asingazvioni, motesa policy mimi yokuti otherwise mari isingaite true, one inosara padona security, one inoenda necustom. So at the end of the day unoona kuti business rako richikura ka unopedzera vane macompany policies ari very strong, and mapolicies ako anenge achiprotecta business rako according to what you've been experiencing. Zvafanira kuti kana mushandi anogomuka mangwana asingavi kubasa, makutesa policy kai kuti munhu ari over 3 days asina kuuya kubasa, basa rapera. So you'd find that you grow these policies and structures as the business grow. Chakakosha kugara wava nema positions nematitles. Mapositions nematitles hazvidi kucreatirwa munhu kuti madam vatoda kuuya kubasa saka tovaisira title ipi wonzi ngavanzi manager. Mangwana vatete kuti ndine mwana akapedza chikoro ari kuda kuuya kubasa, motomisira title ipi nganzi operation, kanzi production supervise. No, you need to have an organogram. Waita organogram yako yoita ma-structures are well responsible for my operations. Ukati HR unoziva kuti HR ndiye ari kurecruiter nekudhila nema-conflicts epabasa, so that iwewe sadirector inini handidhili nevashandi because I'm a person ndine ma-emotions angu. Unosvika kubasa ndabva kumba ndatonedzana namadam, ndosvika kubasa kumushanda kutati ndoda kumba mai vari kurwara, I can end up shouting at that employee. But kana achidhila na-HR anorepresenta ma-interest yecompany, haana ma-personal feelings nema-personal attaches to the business. Saka anokwanisa kuita a rational and a fair decision as compared to the owner. Then tochienda kuzvinhu zvakaita se-accounts, I said I don't deal with cash, because if I have got money right now ndoudza kuti asekuru vashaika parodo wa coffee re-500 ndobudisa mari. But kana pane accounts, like in our case, accounts deals with money. And when we want money, there's a process yekurequesta nayo mari. Some other time I donated ku primary school kwandakadzidza. Sandadoneta ku primary school kwandakadzidza ndakatora pendi $800. Pendi mubudiro yaneta, it's a process yekuti unoita credit application, form ronyorwa roreziwa. It's a long process yekuti even me myself I go through the same process. Then now when the HR was preparing salaries, mari yependi yaitora almost close to the 3%, 3/4 of my salary. Saka zvakamuomera kuti aibvise, and she called me and she said, we are preparing salaries and it's indicating on your account that mune chikwereti. Saka tobvisa mari yose rekateta senga no. Check the credit form rakanzi chi. Sa credit form ranga rakanzi mari yose inobhadharwa end of month. So which means she was supposed to remove all of it. And I said, just follow what is on the credit form. These are some of the qualities, some of the practices that can make your business successful. But ukatasisi mekuti iwe now wakuzvipa simba riri beyond the business. Maoperator chanokwanisa kunetsa. So I wanted to intervene, Mr. Tinashe, when we were talking about my systems. My systems, the structures, anoiniwa ne-senior management, ndi muno wa-craft. Kana ma-crafter, oenforcewa ne-law, ne-junior officers. Because junior officers akangopuwa mtemo kuti chinhu chisina risiti hachibudi. Chero ukauya uri Mwari, anoona security guard kana ati chinhu chisina risiti hachibudi. Whether you're a bounds or you are what, or sometimes first lady vakauya kumberengwa vachizoofficiata maternity ward. So commander of army was coming to Mberengwa, and we have a relationship in the team arm and I sponsor. So he said, I'm in Mberengwa, I want to pass through your office. And then as he was coming to the office, I forgot to tell the security, because we got a very important person arikuya. Security didn't know me samun, yovunza ID, yokubuka mu book. So what I did, I saw on the camera, no motors are chic. And the personal assistant or command was busy questioned. So I then quickly phoned the guy, no, the guy. I'm trying to emphasize how you can structure your business so that even if you are not there, it will got chances to survive. I don't know if I answered that well.
No, you did very well, Dr. Marambire, and I don't think I need to add anything from there, because the way you articulated it, you actually gave very good practical examples. And Kupa was saying, so working with independent people is better than relatives for us, for progress. Bamuza enlighten us. Myself, I would say, independent people, they are better because you can check them anytime. Imagine watora mningina wako, Dr. Marambire ndimukoma wangu, ndavaita manager pacompany. Dr. Marambire wabva wangoona kuti kwaita problem, wabva watora mari yecompany vaendesa ikoko. Maybe kwafiwa nomwana wavatete. Then votora mari voendesa kurufu rwomwana wavatete mari yecompany. But ndinodzoka ndichivabvunza but why did you do this? Saka iwe uri kukoshesa business rako kudarika mwana wavatete vedu wafa. Waamuro here iwewe. Handimuri kuona. So if you are dealing with relatives, you need to be very careful. Because relatives, remember, they are not experienced in doing these things. They are not business people themselves. They are just relatives.
Mr. Tanash, can I say something there?
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Banabas.
Okay. I said when I established my company, the first person I employed, Mukoma wangu, andinoteedzana naye chai. And in my organization, I've got 3 blood brothers. I wanted to say something. This is my opinion. When we establish business, it should benefit the family. But how should it benefit the family in terms of employment? You should not give positions because of your relationship with people. Give positions based on merit. Because there's a time when I have my sister, Angagata HR graduate. She was our first HR office. And she was operating, guided by the company policy and the knowledge of qualification. She did a good job, and she was coordinating some of our elder brothers in the company. And what we did is to empowering the office to do their work without interference. And then we had a situation of one of my young brothers who come second after me. He's a driver in the company, he's still driving for us today. And they have a misconduct at work. And she reminded him to come for disciplinary. And he said, no, I will not come for disciplinary. And he goes to my wife, and then the issue, we take it back to the HR. And he left He went for about 3 months asiri pabasa. He went to South Africa, akadzoka kuenda kuZambia akadzoka. Then later, when things were not working, he returned back to us and say, "I want to do basa." Tikamudzosera back kuna HR. Achinosvika kuna HR vakamutangira pavakasira to say, "Okay, let's go for disciplinary." And the whole process went through as it was supposed to. Then later, he was reinstated. I'm talking of something that happened in 2016. And then today we're in 2024, he's still driving for the company. Now they know their position. It's going to be a task. It's not going to be easy. It's a very difficult task because when you are working with relatives, one of the big angle in the family kana tete vanofona iwe kubata sei vana zvakamira sei. So you need to be patient to educate and have them understand that basa kana zviri zvebasa zvinodhilwa naHR and regawo system yekuti kana vamwe vose vachitambira woti hama dzako dzosara dzatambira mari because here let everything handled professionally. So I'm that guy who advocates kuti kana tine mabusiness edu ngatishande nehama dzedu excuse me, but ngatishanda nehama dzedu ngativape maposition according to their qualifications. So far in Pama Blood Brothers, I don't have anyone at management because they are not skillful for that for those positions. Ndine mfana akanga kaita a graduate accounting. We hired him as an accountant. He saved for 5 years. Akabva mari ndobva business rake. So in short, I would not encourage to say no, atenge kupinza hama, ngatenge kupinza hama. Let us involve our relatives in business, but in a professional way. Kana munhu asina basa raanoziva rokutsvaira ngaende kunotsvaira and akauya mubasa akachallenge HR akakuti akachallenge accountant or any superiors, they should deal with that person as an employee, not say hama, and they also interfere in the process. So you find that as time goes on vanhu vanojaira vachijaira votozopedzera vazoti aiwa kubasa akuitiwi izvi. Unotonzwa vavakuudzana ivo chorakati hama ndasvava kuti ukaenda kubasa kwamukoma ukakutambi uku kana ukangonokanganisa uchiti hama yangu HR anokudzinga. Saka inopedzera yava culture vanhu vakutozvafamba sei. Of course it might take a process, it might take time, but I would appreciate tikashanda nehama dzedu because if we don't employ our relatives then vonowana kupi mabasa acho.
Yeah, wonderful. That's profound, Dr. Marambire. That's profound. And it all goes back to the issue of systems. And I think, Cooper, you answered. Miss V, you have your hand up. There was another hand which was up. I think it's Mkomatapiwa. You can come and then Miss V. Miss V, you can come up, then Mkomatapiwa come second. Is that okay?
All right, thank you Mkomatinash. Hanyaya dzacho kapa mnemsora paindotombofunga kuti pamwe ndiri kunanga panapa. So ndoda kutanga ndacontributa panyaya yanga ichitaurwa namukoma Banabas kuti munhu akarovha kubasa. So inini ndakamboshanda zvo ndakambovhura former saloon muno muCape Town, but machallenges angu anga rekuti ndaiti ndakavhura saloon ndakaona kuti yakunyasoshanda kwabhizi ndovhura imwe uku ndotokusiya kuright ndovhura kumwe kusvika ndamanager kuti aformer saloons. But inini chakazondibrotha manje was kuti ini ndaitraina as well, like kutraina manail tags, kutraina vanhu vanoita maelashes. Ndanga ndakubirwa maclients nemabig companies. Saka pamwe pai ndakazopedza ndaona kuti kana kuti December paipa mutasira kuti festive season tunyasoshanda munhu anokushanda offer kana kuti lamsa nebig company utongoona kuti hapana utongobhadharira rende mahari ndakukwanisa kuzozvidimbira dimbu rakauti ruko. So I was heartbroken but ndapedzisira ndavhara. Handizive kana mukoma Banabas vachandibatsira ipapo kuti ndeifanira kuti sei. And then panyaya yekumanage business usipo, like pandakatanga kufamba paipa mukoma tinashe, when I came back to South Africa ndakatowana business iri kumaminers. Obviously unenge uchiwana imwe mari hako but hazvo zvaunenge uchitarisira. Ukazoona vanhu vekunze vakutokuti vanhu vanokushandira life yavo inenge yakutotamba nikodarika yako uziva kuti ukarurwa pahombe. So inini hangu masolutions andikaisa was to install macameras. Ndikaisa makamera kubasa kwangu. Of course haazenge ari achizonyanyo haizenge iri enough isiri haizenge iri enough security. But I think ndozvimwe zvinhu zvakazondibatsira. And then zvimwe zvandanda kubvunzisa kuna mukoma Banabas is kuti vanomanager sei, like I know kuti vanoita zvinhu zvakawanda zvese vanozvimanager sei vari one. I think ndoita zvinhu 4 kana kuti 5 zvekuti ndotozikanwa kunzi uku kuside kwaV kana muda zvakatsvaga iV, and especially muno muCape Town. Cape Town yangofanana kuti nekuti ivillage yekuti wakangovaka zita rako zvakanaka vanhu vakakutrasta even nemari dzavo, problem yese munhu yanenge aita ndotanga ati kana iri reference regai ndirefewe naV ndopandiri. Vanozozvimanaja sei kuti uku uda kuita YouTube, uku uri kumhanya nemawavha, uku videos yakakumirira, uku uda kuedita, unozvifambisa sei?
All right. Thank you very much for giving a very practical example. When I started my business, Tangatri 1 branch. And the one thing that I like about business, every business communicates with the owner. It's only that sometimes we don't listen, but there's a very strong communication that happens between the owner and the business. The business will tell you that now we've grown enough. The people within the business are not enough to sustain my operations. No panozotanga kuemployer. But chikuru chiripa recruitment. Akuna business rinokura. I don't think, unless if you are a forest trader, but can I really business? You're going to run a business, a revenue, it be above 100,000. It's difficult to run a business or one. So, issue recruitment. How do you recruit? In most cases, I recruit people that I don't know. We've never worked together. We advertise, and when we advertise people, they come for interview. We select for the best candidate through my interviews, no reference. Then once you recruit people, make sure that each and every employee has a job description. Anoziva position yake ne people yake pabas. Kana wana job description, wana ma contracts. And then also try to make sure that my employees, they feel at home. Then tochita issue kuti my employees vari kusiya basa for green pastures. That is something which we cannot fight, or we can avoid. It will happen, and munhu kana achaisa kuti ndauda enda kusiya basa. Isusu kukamani kwedu, we encourage people ita serve a notice at least 2 weeks. And paunenge akuindawo HR tine police kuti vanotenga ka small cake voita a farewell party oonekana nevamwe achienda zvakanaka. We try to maintain that good relationship, because munhu akakushandira akazosiya basa mukaparadzana zvakanaka, there are high chances that the person can get you more jobs out there achipa mareference. Vanhu vane certain loyalty inosara iri kuvarungu vavo, because munhu chero akazofuma seka kana akambokushandira shoko rokuti murungu haaribvisi, unachingoti murungu. So we should be very careful how we treat vanhu vatinoshanda navo. Ndo number 1. Number 2, ishe kutorwa kwevanhu iyaya, it's better to always have munhu anomudeputize. Kana ukaemploya munhu, tsvaka munhu anomudeputize, so that musi waanoenda you have someone to replace. Kana kuti kutsvaka ma-attaches abhadharwa mari yakawanda. Ma-attaches munhu anenge achitodzidza ende anotoya neleta oatachiwa pakambani. Sama-attaches vanhu vaya vanobatsira kuti kana magogodera paanorega basa achienda, unosara uchimbosevhwa nemu-attachi wakamira kutsvaka another replacement. Saka there are so many methods that you can use in terms of recruiting. So I'm not happy to hear that you close 4 branches, because at the end of the day, we need a bigger operations to generate more revenue. So the more your operations are small, the more your revenue is also small. It's very important to try to run business without your existence on the premises. It can only come through ishataitara structures, nema security, nema company policies. Ekuti munhu anoziva kuti kana icho ndichichita ndochita sei, and then avoid to have all tasks being done by one person. A reconciliation audit inozonorema. Woti munhu ndiye manage, ndiye ari kutengesa, ndiye ari kubata mari, ndiye ane KSF, ndiye ane key shop. It's like irera tongowo business rake. Eni munhu akaita sei kuti unyatso kunomuaudita kuti wane problem kuti pari kubira mari, zvinonetsa. Anokwanisa kukavha matrix. Tomboti muri kuita saloon matenga Dark and Lovely 5 liters Dark and Lovely, moza tinoita misoro 20, then akaona ita misoro 15 muri kurega, anongonotenga rimwe full 5 liters ka riri hafo rishafa paside, oti taita vanhu vatatu. Saka mukuti mumuaudite zvonetsa, because hair cream yamakatenga iripo, vanhu vakashanda mwedzi wose but kunzi tashanda vanhu 3 saka hamuna loss but munhu ashandisa business renyu to make money. So I think it's a topic for another day that we may now, Mr. Tinashe, you can organize to say, okay, let us be focusing on how to develop company structures, organogram, nema policies, nema systems, angati batsira kuti business rikure munhu asipo.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure on that meeting, you can also bring the chartered vendor. I'm sure
Yes.
we have people who are operating without companies. We are some of the people anyway. And we would really love to have those companies operating. So I'm sure we're going to have a chat, Dr. Marambire. We should own companies as Zimbabweans. Shelf companies.
Yes.
We should open those companies and they should be running. Even as small, very, very small as we could think, but we should have them. So I'm sure Ms. V, you've been answered. We have Matsairire Ambodona. Angaida kubvunza the other time. Matsairire, go ahead, please.
Okay, thanks, Tinashe. In hangu mvunzo wangu, it was all about Panama contact details and request for ad hoc. I'm not so sure if he's willing to share, so that because some of the questions are a bit personal and
All right.
we might not be free to ask them here. And also, Tinashe, I wish to have your contacts as well. I think we're in the same country.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to share the Africa Diaspora Business Platform. I will share it in the chat box so that those who want to join that group, they can join. We don't discuss anything besides business in that group. And for those who advertise, if you haven't reached out to me, you don't advertise in that platform. Because the thing is, we don't want people who just come and fish people, but we don't know them. We don't know what they are made of. If we see Bamlo tomorrow, we can say, Bamlo, we know. We have spoken to the CEO, the owner of the company. And imagine having the owner of the company taking his time to explain all this. Half the time, vanhu vanenge vaita zvimari zvishoma vamwe vanoramba kuuya kuzotaura zvinhu zvavo zvavanenge vari kuita. Thank you, Dr. Banabas. I've been trying. Mukacheka peji renyu rakabiwa riya reFacebook riya. Ndakatombokuisirai message mukazondipa message yaMax. Ndikabva kuna Max, ndikamunetsa Max, ndikabva ndikazoenda kuna Candros. I've been very, very consistent in whatever that I was doing, because what I wanted is I want someone who is genuine. Because I don't want anyone who is genuine to come and say good they want to do business with people. We have people here we have assisted to come to Europe. Like, you know, we mentor people, we mentor Shamari, these are this, no, this, no, this and that. And then they come. When they make money, those people they should actually get value of the money. Because do Maria Vaita, can I $10? Get value out of that $10. That's how we grow as blacks. Myself, I love to call myself black. And I am proud to be black. And the only way...
And I think... So sorry, Mr. Tinashe, to interrupt.
Yes,
I think the point you have raised is very important. Muma groups ndo muri kubirwa vanhu mari. Because the moment pandinoenda una someone chinotekesa nchiti tiri mugroup teseka, munhu anobva akurumidza kutrust. So I think the measures we've put in place are very important. You know the people who are coming into the group. Because if you are not careful, you are going to put people who are going to scam group members. Vanhu vozodzoka kwamuri kuna kuma-admin vachichema kuti munhu wandakasangana naye panapa akandirova bhegi akaenda ndibatsirei kumutsvaka imwe hamuchazeko kumuwana.
That one iyoyo yakashata. Isusu tiri kuti munhu ari kuda kuisa, kana uchiti ndiri kusupply zvipikiri, uya in front of the camera. Wotaura kuti inini ndoita zvezvipikiri, inini ndoita zvefence, inini ndoita zveconstruction. That way we are able to say, Dr. Marambire, you know what? Pane munhu auya achiti ari kuita mabhoho, pane munhu auya achiti ari kuita zvakati. Can you please verify? Kana akauya panapa munhu iyeye tinogona kuzoposta mangwana. Kuti Dr. Marambire pana vanhu vari kuti makati muri kuvaka 15.8 house, but kuri kunzi mavaka 1 roomed in all
exactly.
Saka
Exactly.
ndinogona kuti ndinovhaucha kuti this one it cannot happen like that. But inini pandakaona, because I was following like the Nyati family, I was following you even before the Nyati. Pamakazopinda kuNyati paya zvichidii zvichienda kumberi zvichidaro zvidaro, pane vanhu vanotopika wotoona kuti apa aya matsotsi aya, regai
Thank you
tingonyararawo
very much.
tingosiya zvakadaro. But patakazoona manovaka the Nyati family house ichipera, kune vanhu vanouya vanenge vane negativity yavanenge vanayo. But kana ndikaona munhu ane negativity akapfeka manyatera Dr Marambire, ndinosiya zvakadaro. Because wakapfeka manyatera ako, you are negative, you will die being negative. Because iwewo nemanyatera ako, but you don't want to learn. What we want as Zimbabweans is we have to learn. Learn from some people who have done something. And then you are able to say 10,000 yako. Zvakafanana nokuti tikataura izvezvi right now, tikaraise issue yemortgage, tinogona kuita a very good discussion for the next 4 hours about mortgage. Kuti you can raise 30,000 uchida kutenga imba ye370,000. But waraise 30,000, paunozoraise insurance uchinoraise chakati, it's all capital, it's all money that you are putting in. Saka mari waisa, you should be able to calculate value. Kuti mari yandaisa iyi ndikatenga imba iyi, am I able to retain the value of the money yandaisa? Kana ndaisa mari iyoyo ndikawana mari, inini I vouch for the poor. Takakurira kumagrowth point, tichiona zvaitika, uchinyatsoona kuti mwana uyu ari kuenda kuchikoro, ari kumukana 4, but achisvika kuchikoro anosvika achivata. But paari kusvika achivata ka, hakusi kuvata because arikuda kuvata, akatoneta munhu iyeye, because atravela 10-12 kilometers kuenda kuchikoro, hana bhutsu, kuri kutonhora, you know, all those kind of things. So when we are saying we have to rise from the ashes, we look at people vakaita rise from the ashes. Kune vanhu vari lucky vokuti akangowana vabereki vake vanazvo. Munhu iyeye hatigoni kumisa mukategori redu. Isu kategori redu riripo and riri well defined and rine mamillions of people. Saka na riri well defined, ndinonotsvaka inini the head boy ari kuti inini am the head boy. Most people they want to portray zvinhu zvavasiri because this is where they are. Angopinda muUK chakutongoda ndechekuti ndoda kuonekawo ndiri paManchester ndichionekawo ndichitora maphotos neiPhone which is costing 1,600 on a credit. But 1,600 Sfiso is here. It can buy me 40 goats. But if it buys 40 goats, am I going to make money out of the 40 goats? Then conversation starts. Pane video yamakaita naNakundi yemombe yaya muchiti no guys, panyaya yemombe apa vakashata. We were discussing about it, Nana Miss V. I'm sure she's going to come up. So we watched that video.
Alright.
She's going to come up. You know,
Alright.
these small ruminants, the small animals, they make money. Munhu anoita tsuro anogona kumeka mari kudarika munhu ari kutoona bhorani. Because tsuro ndichanoitengesa 50 cents. Ndichitengesera vanhu, but kune miriyoni vanhu vasina $20. But vari kuda kudya, every day vari kuda kudya vanhu ivavo. Saka $20 iyoyo vanogona kubhadhara $1 for whatever that they are going to eat and they make money. But iwewe now waenda kudiaspora, your brains hadzifaniri kuti dzinzi economy yakagadzirwa 100 years ago ifanane ne40 years ago. Dzozosangana nekuti pakazoita zvakawanda zvatisingadi kutaura nezvazvo, zvokuti pane mari imwe yatatinayo mumaaccounts Dr Marambire yekuti wakaone 5,000 but yakangomuka mangwana yava 0 because yakangonzi dollar to dollar zvatofanana. It was because of the circumstances that were there. But as of now, we have a chance as Zimbabweans. So the chance that we have, imimi mamillionaire ariko kuZimbabwe, chance yatinayo yokuti munotozvipawo nguva yekutaura nesu, I value it. I value it, and I don't know how you are going to take this, but my perspective is, whatever that you are imparting to us today, let it transform lives. A person who is making $100 should make 1,000. A person who is making 1,000 should make 10,000. Tichidaro, we can grow as Arabs. Make sure the nyika yedu is ticking. Right now, Murugona Moda is not driver of Zimbabwe. I have been telling people they don't want that. Especially UK, UK, Europe. I'm not driver up. kwatiri kuno kuna Ireland, kuno kuna UK. They don't drive those Raptors. They are only driven in Africa. And they are driven when they have been paid cash. The cars that we are driving, half of us or 3/4 of us, they are on finance. We are paying them bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. But it's all money. But Zimbabwe, it's a country you're not going to make a short. You can set up Zakanaka. You can make your money. And your money in get cash. And you'll be able to live your life. It's not gonna problem your weather. That's a jacket and nakapfeka. Imimi zvimakati appreciate. Wakato relax. Room deni pamuda tovhura window kuti mhepo ipinde. Anyway, I can say much, but the thing is, we're in Europe because we want to look for money. But if we look for the money, let's safeguard the money. To make sure we are coming for business. Dr. Marambire, people, they are losing money. If they get houses, myself, I don't care. If they come even 20, 30 and say, Dr. Marambire, ngatite idzimba, ngavavakirwe, vazouya nematestimony, vachiti zveshuwa. When we did this meeting, we managed to go to Dr. Marambire and he delivered the houses. That's what we want. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank
Miss
you
V,
very much.
Dr. Marambire, if you want to chime in, we have Miss V and Mkoma Tapiwa.
Yes.
Right. So Tasha, let me just come in. The conversation is really very, very interesting. What I wanted to say about business on our end is, guys, business is like going back to school to grade 1 when you start a business. So you have to be open-minded and you have to be willing to learn and grow within the business. You also have to maximize on organizations that are there to help business people, specifically entrepreneurs at every stage. In Zimbabwe, I'm organization I got to sign an Empretech and a smart core, even some banks offer some workshops and stuff. And those are things you should maximize on when you're a business people. When a workshop be a business, you got to go because you learn 1, 2, or 3 things, be it your accounting systems or your technological systems and stuff. And always be ready to go to my trade organizations who also help businesses, be it market identifying, matchmaking partnerships, suppliers, and stuff like that. And as a business person, always remember that you also represent your country. So you also must work near my embassies for what other people want outside the country. All those offices are open for specifically business people. And we should maximize on that because a lot of people start a business, they do very well, but they don't know how to grow it and to scale it. Go to the university lecturers and ask them how certain things are done in the systems, because no one starts a business with all the answers, but all those answers are required at some point in the business. And you should always open your mind to grow. It's amazing that doctor talks about how they started very too, and now they have systems in place. Because you'd be surprised that most of the people who are degrees that you need, you will never know what they actually do until the problem faces your business. So that's how you grow. Construction especially, my question was more of a personal thing. What I wanted to find out from the doctor was on the properties that you're building for people, are you also assessing the market value after the construction, where someone might want to come in and build a property just because they want to resell it at a profit? And do you then help people within that space? At X amount, you can estimate they can sell it at a higher value. Because a lot of people would also be interested in coming in, constructing 2 or 3 houses, but just so they can resell them after they're finished. Yeah, that's my contribution.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Tapiwa. I like the angle you are coming with, and it's another level of entrepreneur, which mostly we don't embrace in Africa. Tinongo tanga is a family business, then sometimes yongo perakada. Then on the question of valuation, we don't do valuation and we don't assist in selling the properties. However, we have got other registered agencies which specialize in that. So in the event that we build a house for someone and they want to sell, we can always refer to those registered agencies which do buying and selling of houses.
Okay, so we also have a group of people who specifically want to buy and resell because it's an investment. My next question would be in certain areas, can we engage the evaluators, but before we engage the the commitment to build in certain areas. For example, let's say I have a stand in Marlborough and I want to build a house that I want to resell. I would want to know the various valuations of the neighboring houses, so that even when we put monies together, we can then know that we're constructing this thing at 70,000 and we can sell it for 120. Because firstly, the quality of the building will obviously be done by Mr. Marambire, so we can sell it. And then people also appreciate that the area and other things add value to the place, because it's one aspect where a lot of people are doing, especially in South Africa, Cape Town, a few properties where they're buying for Airbnbs as groups for the purpose of reselling or for renting out for business. So I think it's something we can sit down and talk about, because a lot of people also are building their third, fourth, fifth houses. So they're on the market not for specifically something that they want to live in, but because they know kuti vanenge 50,000 karipo kavarikada kutenderedzawo kuti ndikavaka imba yangu ndoitengesa ne80 zvegore ndendazosenzawo.
Yes, I think you have a good point there. It's not something very difficult to implement, especially with the aspect like yourself and the other registered agencies. Why I'm saying it's going to be easy to introduce. Before we build a house, there's a plan drawing and a quotation, which automatically the cost of the house. Then now it will be easy to check within the community where you want to build. Kuti idzo dzimba dzirimo kachitengeswa dzirikutengeswa at a value of how much, size yacho yakaenzana neyatinoda kuvaka here. So it's a very strong point which needs to be considered.
And then the last thing is I just want to salute you for sticking to employing your family and working with them. It's something we just need to learn in our culture, because I've also grown up in a very entrepreneurial family where we're business people, and taingotaura kuti marules ekubhora ndekubhora kana taamumba mukoma kana ari kubhora unompinza deya nekuti hazvina basa kuti mukoma wako, asi kana maakumba which is very good. The harder we work, the more we change the culture. We set the examples for other people, because the moment someone says usashande nehama, then it's no use working, because mwana wangu hama yangu saka ndikasashande nevana vangu nevakoma vangu hapana zvatiri kuita.
Exactly. I know that there's people they reached that level because of experience. Honestly, if you can listen to what Ahmad's business is really beyond. But it's because they were given a room to do so, or they were treated in a manner which leads them to do so. But I right now my business is it's above 15 years. And for those years, I've been working with relatives. Of course, it was not smooth. It was not easy. Like even also working with the Nevatora. So I think it's a topic to discuss on another day in depth, because I think no employer. Most of the doctor makati ngengera kuno kwange nini imba is upside down. There are good examples that I will share how I did it, which means anyone who would want also to adopt it could be aware of certain things. But otherwise, honestly, if we are running our business, they should benefit our relatives through employment, because these people, even if we don't employ them, one or the other mari dzedu vachangozozijika, because munhu akarwara mwana akanzi awana nzvimbo kuyunivhesiti unonobvisa mari, zvikanzi kwaita rufu unobvisa mari. Why not equip everyone so that pakunonzi mufamily kwaitika problem vanhu vanocontributa vese?
Ini ndatepa zvangu panyaya yemasystems, kuti system inogadzirisa munhu chero akada kubirira.
Mr. Tinash, considering our time, I think we have really exhausted. Yes.
Yeah, we've exceeded the time already, and the discussion went on and went on. Miss V had a question, and I'm sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Marambire, for being very patient on this one. And now it's almost 10, which is 12 Zimbabwe time. It's very late.
Yeah.
And my Marambire wanting go out of Funza to go name Dara.
And but tomorrow it's Monday. Imagine, Monday is the most busiest day.
Oh, exactly. I know. No, no, I see. I don't know. School. There are people like school. Yeah, the question. I don't know if she had a question. I think Dr. Marambire, we can arrange another day. We can give ourselves time, and then we'll meet more because people will be having more questions. But I
Okay.
presume that as we proceed, that 15,000 thing, 15,000 deal. I think we need to put it more, give more. There are people who have bought stands already right now,
Yes.
especially here in the Republic. I have people whom I have put into clusters, and they're putting money together. Every 4 months, a person will be getting about 4,000 to 5,000 euros. And with those 5,000 euros, that person will be wanting maybe to build some ligas. But remember, the British system, what it did to us, it created employees, Dr. Marambire. And we are very
Yes.
good. We have very good employees. And when you hear people saying or telling you that Zimbabwe is the most educated country, they'll be mocking us in a way. But people they don't want to agree to that.
Yes.
We have created a system yekuti kunonzi kune maticha, kune manesi, kune madoctor, kune chi handiri. But how many companies do we have in Zimbabwe that are manufacturing medicines? How many companies that we have in Zimbabwe that are processing even the lithium that we are mining? You would find that the only person who could be coming to process that, it could be a Chinese. But as we are tapping into that system. Oh, sorry, sorry, Dr. Marambire, I just muted you. I wanted to mute the other phone. You can unmute yourself, Dr. Marambire. So the thing is, I'm only like saying, as Zimbabweans, patiri kubatana tichiwirirana kuti Dr. Marambire wada kuvaka dzimba. If he's coming genuinely and he's offering a service, if we support you, it's as good as saying we are supporting our own Zimbabwean and we are building our own Zimbabwe. So the thing is, if it's tomorrow when Dr. Marambire is saying the business is growing, we shouldn't be like surprised because he's someone who has already proved himself beyond doubt that this is what he can do. And I know time Dr. Marambire can be very mischievous to us. There's a lot that you have shared to us, and people they still have questions. And I'm very proud myself, and I'm very happy that you took it. And I was speaking to Kandros, is very good, very, very good. And he was communicating with you, and it was very smooth. And ndaingouya every time, even ndikaenda panana nyati ndaingonokomenda zvandiri kukomenda, even ndikaenda papeji penyu, I was just commenting, doctor, I want to speak to you. Inini, what I was doing is, I'll tell you, I was mentoring people like just kungovadzidzisa kuti kana kuti muye kunoko RCSI, how do you do it, manesis and all that. Tichivadzidzisa, we don't want them to pay anything. It's for free. They have to come here. They have to make money. But when they make money, now we say they have made the money. Let's safeguard the money. So that paunosvikawo pa65 years haucharambi uchanyotambudzika. Izvezvi as we speak, Dr. Marambire, hakuna kana muZimbabwean anokuudza ndoda kuenda kunursing home. Havadi kuenda kumanursing homes iwayo because they have seen the experience. Vakazvinzwisisa kuti kunursing home hakutoiti because unenge uchingoshanduka uchiita sei uchibviswa mapamba ewaya and all that, then you die. Then the mortgage that you would have done for the next 40 years, I'm telling you, they take it. Vanoitora. And what they do is, they will take it, you also run 5 years dzokurarama. And if you look at my charges in my nursing homes, they are very high. Saka tikagadzirawo kumusha kwedu isusu kuti kuitewo a standard, we are better because tagadzirisa kuti kumusha kwedu kugare zvakanaka. So in Dr. Marambire, I'm very happy. But the next thing that I am going to come to you, manduza mukati munema yellow machines amakatounza ikoko Dr. Marambire. Inini ndiri kutoya kuzohaya mamachines iwayo Dr. Marambire. Izvezvi right now ndandiri kutotraya kutoti ndinoda kuendesa vanhu kufamu kuti vaende kunogobora. So I am going to come to your inbox. I want to hire those machines. I'm not asking for free. Ndinoda kuti vagobore at least about 10 hectares. Because we have seen kuti the reason why farmers are not making money in Zimbabwe is because when they try to make the money, mari zhinji iri kuperera kutsvaga zvinhu zvokuraramisa mhuka, iri kuperera kutsvaga zvinhu zvokuraramisa mbudzi dzavo kana mombe dzavo. But if they grow their own feed, izvozvi ndakatenga Dr. Marambire, I will tell you, I bought seed yesora. Do you know kuti sora iroro rabuda ndakuzoriona ratokura, ndakatoona kuti sora iri kairi pana ndiri kumusha kumasvingo ka sora iri tairi kuona iri kumusha iri, but varungu vakangotora the same seed vakaipakeja vakaisa mumasaga vakaiharvesta. But isusu we didn't have that knowledge. But since we have that knowledge now, it's high time that as Zimbabweans we build strong synergies. I'm very happy, Dr. Marambire, that you took the option to say you're going to come and present to the diasporians. Let's hope everyone who has listened to this will be able to trust Bamlo Construction. You go to the website, please go and give them the business. When you give them the business, it's not giving it back to me as Tinashe. But my dream is, Dr. Marambire, we have to grow as Zimbabweans. Tese takabatana, tichibetserana, kuti this is the business that you are doing, you can transform it this way. Ndinovimba kuti vanhu vazhinji vakateerera this conversation, they have also made it themselves and say kuti hai apa ndokurarama kwavaakuita, and this is the way that they can proceed and make life. All those who are in diaspora, they will testify to you, Dr. Marambire. South Africa is even better. Kunoko vanogona kutokuprindira sekuti vari kunzwisisa. But it's not nice. It's not nice. It's not nice. Because I travel home ndinokwira ndege 3 kuti ndisvike kumba. But ndasvika kumba, vanhu vari kumba vanonditambira zvakanaka kudarika zvandakatogara ndiri muno mumadzviti. But we are very happy that we have people like you who give themselves out to say, I have been a head boy. I have been reading your book and your stories. Being a head boy, mufudzi wemombe, song yenya Trevor dongo inondibata yeye. And some people here may not even understand it. But from being a mufudzi wemombe to being a millionaire, it's something that we should tap in as Zimbabweans. And we say, guys, let's build our own country. Let's leave politics aside. Let's tap into what politics is giving us. Then we prosper. Thank you so much, Dr. Marambire. I'll give you this time to say your departing remarks as you giving your last statements, and we'll be able to have maybe another meeting. We can give it some time. Then we make sure that when people are reaching out to you, as you are seeing on your website, you can see that people are even poking in and they are coming in. Kuti vari kuda kuwana business kubva kwamuri mimi. Inini handide kana sendi kwamuri Dr. Marambire. I want to tell you this. I don't even want a cent. But what I want is this connection that I have with you. It's very important to me. It's very, very important. You don't make money when you're not connected to anyone. But you only make money when you are connected to the rightful people. Thank you so much, Dr. Marambire. You can give your parting remarks. Sorry, I had muted you. You can unmute yourself, yeah.
Okay, I wanted to say, let me thank everyone who managed to join this meeting and those who participated. And I would say those in the diaspora who wants to open business in Zimbabwe, please musachikira kunze. We are meeting ma research due diligence. Zimbabwe mune opportunities akawanda and Zimbabwe mune mari. I think Zimbabwe is one of the countries like DRC where we are abusing the dollar power. You'd find out chinhu chinoitwa $100 muno muZimbabwe, pa South Africa uchiitwa $25 kana $50. So come and tap in that opportunities, and also in whatever that you want to do, do research. And those who are willing to construct their projects, it could be houses, schools, commercial buildings, shops, or churches. We are offering very good payment terms and conditions. They're very flexible. Test us, give us a chance to quote you, and if our price is affordable, engage us and we can do a good work with you. But otherwise, at the end of the day, I was looking on other website. Zimbabweans are regarded as the most hardworking people. And we are hard workers not by choice, but because of circumstances that we find ourselves in. It could be, some they take it as a case, but I would say let us take it as a blessing in disguise, because to create a world through the hardworking. So please don't be discouraged, don't be depressed. Find time to relax after this hard working. Spoil yourself yet sometimes. Zvakakoshawo kudyawo pizza nekungozviitirawo zvinhu zvakanongozvispoila kana tashanda seizvozvizvi. So thank you very much, Mr. Tinashe. Thank you, Mr. Tapiwa, Miss V, and the other people who participated. Inini regai ndizororeni tobatane in the next chapter.
No, thank you so much, Dr. Marambire. We are blessed. And also, mazotadza kutaura nyaya the Nyati family. The Nyati are actually transforming themselves. Thank you so much for touching the lives of those guys. Their life was very miserable. But as they are now, we are talking of people who are going to be millionaires before we even reach 2028. Those children
Yes.
are very good.
Yes, we really want to thank God, even the community of Zimbabwe, for supporting them. I know when I took over to manage them, I got a very serious criticism, but I then learned that social media, not everything happens there. You need to take for serious. Social media, then in real life, we've got a different life. So thank you guys for supporting them. It's a brand that is growing, and it grows through your support. Also, something like more than 1.4, close to 2 million viewers, and during the day there were about 37,000 watching live. And we thank you very much for your support. Be blessed. Thank you, Mr. Tanash.
No, thank you so much, Dr. Marambire. Have a good night, and also greet my Marambire. We have taken your time, and we are very proud that she is affording you the time as the director of the company. Thank you, and we also give blessings to Bamlo Construction to say, let's give more thumbs up to Bamlo Construction. Whatever that you are going to do, let it be blessed. Thank you so much for gracing our occasion. Thank you so much, Dr. Marambire. I'll add you to the group. Even if you don't want to talk, even if you want to add anything, you can do it at any time, at any given time that you want to do it. But I'll just add you to the group. If you want to be silent, you can be silent. But if you want to add anything, you can add. But I think I'll vouch for you for people to be engaging with you. Thank you so much. You have a good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining the meeting. This is the end of our meeting. And we thank Dr. Marambire for gracing the occasion. And we are very happy that you took it, and hoping that we gained something, and hoping that we are going to keep engaging with him. It's very important that we engage with people who are not shortchanging us, because this money, it's very difficult to get it. So for us to get people who can manage our finances and who can give us good business, it's very important. Thank you so much. Meet you in the next meeting.